CHurCHicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie, Mims, and
Terrance Keys,
TD, a.k.a. Terrance Daniels.
I wish I had one witness in the house.
You got one.
Got a couple of them.
got
Got a couple
Two
of them.
T's, two T's.
Give me a testimony.
Oh, Lord, he's did it before. Oh, Lord.
I got one. Something better. I got 5 reasons.
5 reasons. Oh, Lord, he turned it around.
Turn it around. He woke me up this morning.
Oh, don't do this. Don't do this.
Go
number
ahead.
4?
He woke me up this morning.
Come on, number 3. Come.
He woke me up.
Oh, Lord.
He woke you up.
That thing can touch you.
I'm
One
telling
of
you.
them 5s will get you. What's the second one?
He woke me up this morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
And the number 1 reason,
Number 1. Final answer.
he woke me up
He
this
woke
morning.
me up this
He
morning.
woke me up this morning.
That's a testimony.
That's a
Turn that thing
testimony. CHurCHicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie, Mims, and
Terrance Keys.
TD, a.k.a. Terrance Daniels.
you got an inspirational word for today?
Oh, man, I'll be honored. Giving honor to God. Amen. On Sunday morning, it's early, so we got to give honor to God.
Yes, sir.
The good word for today is don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes in our life, in our walk, in our days, in our journeys, we find a way to just worry about so many things.
Yeah.
And we just want to encourage you today that those worries is God's responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's God's responsibility because at the end of the day, what we worry about, most times we can't handle.
Yes.
If
Yes.
we would agree together, we can't handle it. So we have to give it to God. That's his responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And our job is to simply believe.
Yes.
I agree.
Simply
Yes.
believe. When we believe, the Bible says all things are possible.
Come on through here.
I better leave that alone. I feel my seat.
Preaching already.
You
Doc.
feel
You'll
it?
see coming.
So be anxious for nothing. Even the Bible says don't worry about
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
In Matthew 6:33 it says don't worry about anything, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these
All
other
these
things be added unto you. So we're here to encourage you.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Showing up. God's going to turn it around. They say, DJ, what they say, DJ? Turn the song up a little higher, DJ. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Be your hype man.
You'll be the hype man.
Let's get it. Yeah.
Glory to Gethsemane, to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Come on in, share light, put some love up there. Come on in. Let's see some hearts. Let's see some hearts. If you believe God's going to turn it around, let's see some hearts.
Yeah. Give him a verse,
Glory to
Steve.
Gethsemane to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane to God got through to the grave from the grave. Happy New Year. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to God got through. God got through to the grave from the grave. Back to glory. Oh yeah. One thing I know. Hey, D Lady Keys, I've been born again.
Yeah.
One thing I know. I've been born again. I've been born again. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha. Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha. Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha. Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. It's a rough morning on my voice, but y'all hear the song. Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Back to glory. Oh yeah. You did it before. I believe you can do it again. You did it before. Hey, I believe you can do it again. Dear Lord.
Come on, pray, boy. Pray, boy.
Ooh, dear Lord. Dear Lord, it's me again. We just pause right now just to say thank you. We took a break, God, but you brought us back. You looked beyond our faults, you supplied our needs. You allowed our golden moments to roll on a little while longer. Now, Lord, it's some changes that's been made in our world today. But Lord, we know that you still can make a way. Times is up and times are down. But we thank God that you're always around. Wherever we go, go before us, Lord. Don't just go before us, but go with us, oh Lord. Not only with us, but stand behind us, Lord. Thank you for your arms of protection around us. Now, Lord, now, Lord. Now, Lord, now, Lord. You told us that if we call you, that you will answer. You told us that if we lean on you, you won't let us fall. Ooh, you can turn it around.
Yes, sir.
Look on all of our officials all over the land. Sweep through the community, stay at the school, Lord. Dear Lord, keep us. 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 Keep us.
Keys!
Keep us. What up?
Oh!
What up? We are back. The Church Chicago's Power Hour. I am Terrance Keys, and this is
Don't Nobody Wanna Hear Me.
the good deacon. Don't nobody want to hear him.
Terrance Daniels, baby.
We missing our third partner, Miss Angie. She's taking care of the children, the child, and we pray everything is okay. But we are back live in effect. We see the love. We see everything, and our theme song says it best. God's going to turn it around. Y'all show some hearts. We see y'all.
Oh, they in
Hey,
the
Mama Gill. Hey, Mama Gill, I saw my wife, D Lady Keys. Y'all come on in. We hear you all. We see you all. Cram, we see you. We see you. We see you. So we
Got a
just
few
glad
people
to
on
be
here, Doc.
on the What's in It for the Black People Media.
Happy New Year to everybody that's
Happy
listening.
New Year's. Booyah, booyah.
We back.
It's been another year. God has allowed us to see another crossover. It's not over.
That's right.
But he has allowed us to cross over, and we're just grateful. We're hilariously grateful for what he has done.
Yes, sir.
Just a few house calls and house announcements. We are in a partnership with the Austin Community Authority, and we are next weekend, Saturday, we will be doing free testing for the COVID, the rapid, and both testings will be going forth. So we want to take about 50 people. Mm-hmm. So those of you that may want to get in contact hit us on the email at CHurCHicago, 2 words, 2017 at gmail.com, and we will make sure to get you the proper information. The flyer will be completed, but we want to make sure that our community,
Yes, sir.
our community is safe and sound in the church. You know, I saw a good Dr. Ackery had a post up, and it was amazing that we can fly.
Yeah, he was
on
in
a packed plane.
He was in Washington, right?
You know, but the church got to be social distancing. Those are some of the things we are wondering. Sometimes it's just an attack to keep the church down, but we are the church.
Yes, sir.
You know, we still believe that God is going to turn this thing around. There will
He's
be
doing
an
it.
end. He's doing it.
He's doing it.
He's doing it. Congratulations to our new president,
Yes, sir.
President Biden. Amen. We thank God for him, and we pray that God would touch his mind, touch his hand, touch his thoughts for our nation. We thank God for our first Madam Vice President. Amen. History in the making. Amen. Amen. We
Yes,
thank God for her. So we're just excited to be here. TD, give us something.
Man, listen. Turn y'all radios up today. Today. We got Church Chicago in the building.
In the building.
In the building. And they going live. Gonna do a few tunes.
Yeah, we're going to
Touch a few hearts.
Thank you all for hanging out with us. We see we have about 29 on Facebook, and we know we are playing in other media sites. So we want you to check us out. Share. We don't plan on ending this anytime soon. It's just the beginning, and it's just going to get better. So shout out to our family members, our loved ones. We thank God for all of you, our new connections. Thank Mays for opening his doors and
Yes,
partnering
sir.
with us. Thank God for our DJ. Amen.
Appreciate your boy.
He makes this easy for us. All we have to do is sit here and nod at him or wave at him or something. He's on it. So we thank God for somebody who care. You know, you want to work with people that care about what they do. You know, you want to work with people that have a concern. So we just thank God. What's in it for the black people?
Reese want me to sing.
Who?
Maurice?
Well, give him a selection. We got about 30, 45 seconds. Give him a rendition or something.
Let me see. There you go.
Yeah, and that was it. Watch it on the What's in It for the Black People media. That was an awesome selection.
I know. Got that one from Pootie Thang.
That was so. That was a solo right there. That was a solo. So look, you all, we're going to play some music. We have some great artists that they're featuring today. We're featuring Marcus Morton. Amen. That'll be our first song. So let's have some church. This is about God. You know, it's not just about us talking. It's about giving God back. And what our motto is for this Church Chicago's Power Hours, that we hope and pray that something is said or sung that make your day powerful. Let's have some church.
Declaration right here. simple. Listen. No one can defeat him. No one can defeat him. Yes, sir. No one can take his place. Come on. No one can take his place. No one can defeat him. Come on, say it if you believe it. Oh, no one can take his place. Come on. No one can take his place. He is unbeatable. Say, he is unbeatable. He is a strong tower. Come on. He is a strong tower. He is unbeatable. Say, he is unbeatable. Yes, sir. He is a strong tower. Come on. He is a He'll never lose. He'll always win. Why? 'Cause he's undefeated. Undefeated. He'll never lose. He'll always win. He is unbeatable. He is unbeatable. He is a strong tower. He is a strong tower. He is unbeatable. Say, he is unbeatable. He is a strong tower. He is a strong tower. He is the mighty king. He is the mighty king. He is the great I am. He'll never lose. He'll always win. He's undefeated. He's undefeated. He'll never lose. He'll always win. He's He's a reigning champion. Say he's undefeated. Nobody like him. Nobody greater. See now we're Savior. He deserves the praise. I don't have to worry. Say I don't have to fret. The God I serve. He is here.
WIFTV-PM.
Is there anybody here that know anything about old school church? Well, let me hear you clap those hands. My. Good God Almighty. Come on, preacher, come on. Yeah. Revival meeting would be going on. The old preacher, he would make what they call an altar call.
Tell the story.
And an old mother now, she'd be waiting on the morning
my prayer is dead, you heal the land. Oh Lord, save us with your power. We need you, Lord, today. Redeem us in this hour and heal us of the pain. Jesus, you're the reason for this Christmas season. But somehow we lose focus on what's most important. I thought Christmas was about my Lord and Savior. You are the greatest gift of all. Greatest gift of all. Greatest gift of Do we worry about what's under the tree? Spend our money aimlessly on things we don't need. Yes, we do. That's why the gift giver has given us everything we need. You are the greatest gift of all. The greatest gift of all. The greatest gift of all. You are the one. You're the greatest gift of all. Greatest gift of all. Greatest gift of all. You are the one. 'Cause Jesus, you're the greatest gift to us.
We're back. And it is an honor. It is an honor and a privilege to have the squad with us on today. To my right, to the left, this is Shamika Atkins, Parisa Knowles, Maurice Anderson, and Elisa Bennett. We are Church Chicago, and we just came on today as we re-kick this off to bring the team in. And we just want to do a little singing just to encourage you out there in the West Center for the Black People Media and our site, our Church Chicago's Power Hour. So we just want to let you know that there's some people that love the Lord, and we just thank God. Are y'all excited?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is our first time together in 2021, so we can we're just gonna enjoy each other. How about that? Hopefully y'all enjoy it. Pray for us. Sing with us if you know it. Share if you like it. Do it best you can. Whatever you do it the best you can. Whatever you do. The best you can. Whatever you do for the best you can. Do it the best you can. Do it your best. Needed in the world today. People are living and they're dying in the worst way. So I'm calling out the humble. Will the humble stand and pray? Whatever you do for the Lord, watch God, He'll make a way. He'll come right away and show up today.
Whatever you do, do it the best you can. Whatever you do, do it the best you can. Whatever you do, do it the best you can. Whatever you do for the Lord, best you can.
Do it.
Do it the best you can.
Somebody.
Do it the best you can. Yeah.
In your spare time, read Philippians 4, verse 8 to 9. Paul gives us some suggestions that we can start when we get time. In my opinion, I want us to be the best we can be. We all know that it starts from your knees. So he'll give you what you need. How many know prayer changes things?
Whatever you do,
Do it.
do it the best you can.
Whatever you do, do it.
Do it the best
Do it the best you can. Whatever
Whatever you do,
you do it the best you can. Whatever you do for the Lord,
do it the best you can.
do it.
Do it the best you can.
Why don't somebody,
Do it the best you can.
oh, do
Do
it.
it the best you can.
Do it.
Do it the best you can.
Take the time out and do
Do
it.
it the best you can.
Make your mind up, do
Do
it.
it the best you can.
Do
The
it.
best you can.
Why don't somebody
Do it the best you can.
stay right there? Do
Do
it.
it the best you can.
Do
Do
it.
it the best you can.
Do it.
Do it the best you can.
Oh, do it.
Do it the best you can.
Do
Do it the
it.
best you can.
Do it.
Do it the best you can. Do it the best you can.
Do
Do
it.
it the best you can.
Do it.
Do it the best you can.
Hey. 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 Do it. Do it the best you can. Listen here. Say it
I'm doing the best I can do.
with what?
What I have.
We don't know what you
I'm
have.
doing the best I can do.
What you have.
What I have.
Make sure that you give it.
Doing the best I
Give it all you got.
What I have.
Make sure that you're trying.
Doing the best I can do.
Trying with everything you have. I'm doing
Doing the best I can
with what I have.
What I have.
With what I have.
What I have.
With what I have.
What I have.
They say little become much.
What I have.
They say little. They say little. It becomes much.
What I have.
With what I have.
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 What I have.
Ay, 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 ay.
What I have.
With what I have.
What I have.
Yes, Lord. Do it the best you can with what you have. Whatever you do for the Lord, do it the best you can.
Yeah.
The next song we'll be singing is entitled He Cares. And it's an awesome message for this time that we're in now, to be reminded that through all that we go through, He cares for us. He loves us, and He's not going anywhere. He's going to be here with us until the end of time. So receive it. He cares. Oh, I the struggle, couldn't gain any ground. I have stumbled, even fallen down. I've been lonely and talked about. I face situations, no way out. But whenever I am struggling, He gives me a hand. And whenever I have fallen, He picks me up again. And whenever I'm sad and lonely, He brightens up my day. And whenever situations come, He always makes a way. That's why I'll say, oh, that lets me know that the Lord cares for me. That's why I say, oh, that lets me know that the good Lord cares for me. Y'all help me sing, oh. He cares. He cares. He cares for me. At the end of the day, we want to say, oh, that lets us know that the Lord cares for me. Because Jesus knows all about our struggles, and He will guide. I know He will, till the day is done. Oh, there's not a friend, oh, like the lonely Jesus. He cares all over the world. We stop by today just to remind you, at the end of the day, when the lights go out, when the friends walk away, He still cares, yeah. I'm so glad He does. He cares for me, not just me, but He cares for you. He cares, He cares, He cares, He cares. Make no difference what time it is, He cares. You may have left the hospital, you may have left the situation. Times may be hard in your life. You may have just cried last night, but we want to remind you that He cares. So whenever we're struggling, we can tell you He'll give you a hand. And whenever we have fallen, we can tell you He can pick you up again. And whenever you're sad and lonely, we can testify He'll brighten your day. And whenever situations come, Church Chicago can tell you He'll make a way.
Yeah.
That's why we'll say, oh, He
cares
That's our message 2021. Ah, yes, sir, he cares. Hope somebody wake up and hear this message that the Lord truly, 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 he cares. I'm so glad 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 he cares. He cares for you. But then we'll tell you, I'm so glad that the Lord, he
keeps on blessing me.
Y'all, I must say, every day, he making a way. Ooh, keep on blessing me. At the church, they would just do this. Yes, he does. I'm so glad that the Lord
keeps on
blessing me. Y'all, I must say, in spite of
my wrong,
he just keep on. Yeah, keep on blessing me. Oh, keep on blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. He keeps on, yeah, blessing me, blessing me. I don't deserve it. He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. All the time, he keeps on blessing me. We should get some hand claps right here. Come on. Lord, we need you to. Lord, we need you to. Somebody here needs you to. Somebody waiting on you. Somebody counting on you just to deliver. Somebody's watching now under the sound of our voice. And they are wondering, can you do it right now? But we're here today just to testify that the Lord will, he'll bless your life. We gone out of here, but we want to say, please
keep on blessing me.
Please, hey, hey, please, keep on. Oh, please, hey, keep on blessing. Keep on blessing me. While I'm driving the car, while I'm sweeping the floor, while I'm cooking dinner, taking the kids to school, walking down the street, walking through the grocery store. Keep on blessing me. Anywhere that I stand, anywhere that I stand, keep on, keep on, keep on blessing, Lord. While you're pouring out blessings. This is Church Chicago's request. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. Don't stop waking us up. Please don't ever stop. Don't stop laying us down. Please don't ever stop. Please don't. 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 Please don't ever stop. 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 Please don't. Please don't ever stop. Please don't. Please don't ever stop. Please don't. Please don't ever stop. Ah, yeah. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop.
Please don't ever stop.
Please don't ever stop.
Please don't ever stop.
Please don't ever stop.
Please don't ever stop.
Please don't ever stop.
Please don't ever
See y'all next week. Don't stop.
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 Any day.
Don't stop.
Any hour.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
We gotta go. We gotta
Don't
go.
stop. Don't stop.
Church Chicago Power Hour. We gotta go because I'm tired. I ain't never sung with a mask on.
Go ahead.
Please don't ever stop.
Please don't ever stop.
We gotta go, y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease. Shamika Atkins, Parisa Knowles, Maurice Anderson, Elisa Bennett. Tank, we love you. Church Chicago.
Love you, Stank.
Out of here.
Oh, we.
I said, tell me.
I did think like, I was like, man.
WIIFTVPM.
Tune in every Sunday. Don't miss it. Live from the West Center for the Black People Media Studios. It is the Kickoff Kickback. Join the conversation with the brothers, Eugene McIntosh, Herb Howard, and myself, Terrance Tomlin.
We got analysis live from the stadium. The brother Joe Lewis will be following through. We got great guests coming in, players, personnel, people.
Say what?
We do our thing every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, taking you right up to kickoff.
We picking the full slate of NFL games. We talking fantasy football. Gino got you covered on all the bets. It's a kickback.
Make sure y'all join the conversation. Smash that like button, smash that share button, and continue to help us push the culture forward.
Don't miss it every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, live here from the West Center for the Black People Media Studios.
From the bottom, but I'm leaving on top. Before I ever put the arm and hammer in the pot, daddy want home. Told my mama she could leave me on the block. If a nigga need work done, ain't hard to find. If you pay the right price, I be Johnny on the spot. Paid the plug extras just to fit it with a dot. 50 in the drum, only need 3 shots. I be telling these niggas I'm surgical with it. Ain't trained to be asking, I'm trained to go get it. If it's sustained, then you know I'm gon' hit it. Take nobody with me, don't need co-defendants. No lean in my cup, I don't need co-dependents. No pills in my blood, just a still in some gloves. And the steamer that's built and the bitch that's in love. Cause when I need an alibi, that's where I'm gon' be. West side of shit, that's the home of 2-3. Used to breaking people cars parked at the UC. Fuck them, Chief said stick them, so we stuck them. I was leaning dick to these hoes, I don't love them. Waited long to get to these flows, I was stubborn. Got shit to say, gotta get it off my chest. Used to have to pack a piece to get a piece of mind. I ain't resting in peace now, so a nigga feel blessed. A nigga from the bottom. From the bottom, but I'm leaving on the top. Focused on the win, I ain't focused on the op. Made it out the streets, but it still fuck the cops. A nigga from the bottom. From the bottom, but I'm leaving on the top. Used to rise and shine, had to get my proper chop. Keeping one up in the back, cause the streets don't stop. If you start some shit, nigga, I'ma finish. Knock a nigga foam off the top like get Guinness, sipping. Used to be in Houston, steady tipping. Now I'm out in Cali where these niggas set tripping. I stay in my lane, the streets, man, they put me on game. How real you is, got shit to do with your chain and your watch. Real is what pump through your veins, what you doing when the streets don't watch. Life is a song, keep it moving, cause the beat don't stop till it put me in a box. Trying to get a bag, and I'ma get to it with a mic or a mask. If you try to stop the work in the bags, they was busting. Like they was sipping Robitussin. About bread bullshit ain't about nothing. Niggas still counting for the hoes trying to front. Five in the cypher, only smoking one blunt. No gas in they whip, only one clip between them. Nigga 2 tons, but they don't even clean them. Staying in the crib, running where your mama live. If you want smoke, I can bring a whole pack. Bitch, let her run. Nigga put hop on the Uber, just send a bitch back. From the bottom, but I'm leaving on the top. Focused on the win, I ain't focused on the pop. Get out the streets, but it's still fuck the cops. From the bottom, but I'm leaving on the top. Visualize the shine, had to get my top. Keep it up in the pipe, cause the streets don't stop. Before we live in the homes, but we lived in the reds. 2029, first floor. Used to go to school where I did my first show. Then they did me dirty, so a nigga had to go. So I was the Lundale, used to space birds. Surrounded by them niggas in the hood with the birds. The hood was the first dipping in and out. Niggas dipping to the homies, they rocks. From the cradle to the grave.
No, I'm good. So let me see. Oh well, because I ain't got the big. All I got is that's heat transfer. Other thing you just saw those is like embroidery. Because I'm not paying for that. You gotta take it one step at a time without money. That's for me. I'm not doing it for me. We gotta do it for us. We still the hats first. I've got that to practice. So when I do get the big, then it would be a seamless transfer. That's why I got those to use as practice. Because that's not the bigs is the bigs. That is mine. That's me. I don't have no pictures of me in here.
Mellow finesse.
You got all the pictures up there.
Calm and collected.
All deep boy.
Finesse crew, finesse clan, finesse clan. Not here. All you hang hoes drop dead. Add up, add mo. Add up, add mo. Count money, smoke dope. Count money, smoke dope. That's what I do the most. Add up, add mo. That's what I do the most. Styling on you, ho. That's what I do the most. Remember I was broke. Not no more. Count money, smoke dope. That's what I do the most. Add up, add mo. That's what I do the most. Styling on you, ho. That's what I do the most. Remember I was broke, but I ain't no more. My mother and my bro. They who I do it for. Remember sharing clothes, sleeping on the floor. Wake me up for Sunday Bible school, but I ain't wanna go. Time I wasted cause I was confused, but I ain't no more. In the basement washing out my clothes, my fingers cold. They don't wanna go. Fuck them on the floor, spit your paper, that's all I was told. Cause I was short, round, trying to sell my weed. That's so it ran down, took a sip of that lean. And now I'm snoring by your mouth, before your lips. Ran by your joint, cause I couldn't afford to be high. Like a plane, like where we going, can't decide. In my lane, I know where I'm going, times change. Came a long way, from saving quarters, all desire surrounding me. I should live in the forest, count money, smoke dope. That's all I do the most. Add up, add mo. That's what I do the most. Styling on you, ho. That's what I do the most. Remember I was broke, but I ain't no more. Count money, smoke dope. That's what I do the most. Add up, add mo. That's what I do the most. Styling on you, ho. That's what I do the most. Remember I was broke, but I ain't no more. Mellow finesse, come collect till a bitch nigga disrespect. Finesse crew, not here. Are you hating those drop dead? And we stepping right over you motherfuckers. Count money, smoke dope.
Add up, add mo. Add up, add mo. Count money, count money, smoke dope. Count money, smoke dope.
I don't know what the fuck be making niggas think they can fuck with me. Stay with a small circle to ensure I stay sucker free. Peace to the niggas rockin' those that truly got love for me. To the women that be lusting me, they dreaming of fucking me. Lick your fingertips and rub your clit to this and let my voice bring you the climax. My raps is more real than any 3D or IMAX. Listen and digest this fly shit like Venus flytraps. Side-eye niggas that speak on my city is Chirac. Niggas love glorifying stupid shit, the useless shit in front of cameras, goofy capping, act as if you used to shit. With Max producing shit, how could I fall short? I hit the booth and get the kicking shit of all sorts. Listen, I'm just a product of the inner city. I remember plenty nights, there wasn't any lights and with no dinner in me. I was in tune with the harsh realities of life at an early age. Was used to struggle at an early stage. That made me appreciate the small shit. So now I kick that off the wall shit that leave these rapping niggas all sick. They say jealousy and envy get you nowhere, so I'd rather not go there. Hiding behind the screen, naming Abby, you pushing buttons or trying to get at me, huh? I'm John Wick with the shit. I'm killing everything while bitches sleeping on me. I'm setting fire to bed frames, replacing alarm clocks with time bombs to bomb spots. This onslaught's for certain. These other niggas is long shots. Dousing your mattress in gasoline. It's asinine to try to find a rapper that rap is mean. I haven't seen a rap nigga that worried me yet. So far ahead of my time, I got fans that ain't heard of me yet. I'm not the nigga you should step to disrespectful. If I address you, won't be no rescue. They gon' have to dress you in a black suit and some dress shoes. Unless you suicidal or glutton for punishment, I'll never choose to rival the motherfuckers I'm running with. Chip on my shoulder, big as a boulder. From all the years I've been doubted, left out, and simply looked over like niggas ain't see the massive. You seize a pad and a pencil. For nothing. Thoughts of killing shit. My brain's a weapon of mass destruction. Nuclear thoughts lead to atomic verses. Me and Max attack with a common purpose. I stole them niggas, you stole out your mama purses. You bitch niggas been disloyal since KB Toys. The streets gave me poise. No Melvins, just a bunch of Rodneys and baby boys. Listen, I'm not the one that you should try your luck with. Get abducted, fucked up, and then left in a rusted bucket, biatch. Sick train of thought, only y'all can conduct it. Just when they thought I was dusted and not a touch, I adjusted, and bounced back like I had Spalding on me. I am God, the clouds open, now the sun's rays is falling on me. To the heavens is calling on me, my shit gon' be elite. Your shit is mystery meat, you say it's beef, but it's all baloney. And fuck these niggas and all they homies, they all is phonies. I'm riding till the wheels fall off this bitch and it's stalling on me. It's alarming these rappers think that we all in the same ballpark. Fuck y'all thought the disrespect is appalling. Standing over the witch's cauldron, concocting murderous plots to help me further my spot. Guess you can say I'm stirring the pot. Heard a lot of niggas think they fucking with the overlord or going overboard. Potent dope that's moved from vocal cords. The key to success is possessing a gift that can open doors. Therefore the flow is nasty like infected open source. You a knight in rusted armor, equipped with a broken sword. Throwing rocks at a fire-breathing dragon, provoking wars. These is more than rhyming words, my nigga. I'm no thesaurus, I'm too complete for you to compete. My shit deep as the ocean floors. But yet I'm barely scratching the surface. Trust me, it's more to come. So motherfucking hot, I ignore the sun. Imagine if Yvonne Thomas ignored the conscience and chose to abort a son. We never would've got to bear witness to this historic run.
Happy Sunday to y'all good people. Welcome live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. This is the Kickoff Kickback. I am in the main seat today holding it down. The brothers is on location right now. Shout out to Eugene McIntosh. Shout out to the point guard of the squad, Terrance Tomlin. Brothers, what's happening? How y'all feeling, first of all?
Feeling good. What did now, my brother?
Ain't nothing to it, man. Another Sunday, another day we get the opportunity talk a little ball, hang out with the peeps right here at the Kickback. Thank y'all so much for choosing to tune in, for getting up with us on this Sunday morning. Hope y'all had a chance to check out the Power Hour also this morning. They was in here singing their faces off. It was sounding good in here, for real, for real. So the spirit is set right in the room. We got another playoff Sunday football edition we want to get into. I don't know if y'all want to do any type of Bears recap at all. But before we hop into any of the football stuff or touch on some of these basketball things that's going on as well, man, I gotta start the show off with giving you brothers Your well deserved flowers, man. You know, I'm always talking about how much of an honor and a pleasure it is to be able to work with y'all, and I mean that sincerely, man. The skins y'all got on the wall in the world of sports journalism is unrivaled, and so I count it a honor and a pleasure to sit next to y'all and talk sports. But, man, this week y'all got recognized on an international level that is absolutely different, man. Major League Baseball on MLB.com posted a piece naming the 50 greatest nicknames in baseball, 50 all the way down to number 1. And the number 1 nickname in baseball belongs to none other than Cubs all-star shortstop Javier Baez, a.k.a. El Mago, the Magician. That was voted and determined to be the number 1 nickname in baseball. Number 1, above everybody else's nickname in baseball. And it is a nickname that Javier Baez was given by y'all, man. None other than the Bigs dubbed that man El Mago, and it is now the number 1 nickname in baseball. And on MLB.com, you can go and you can see the piece counting the nicknames down from 50 to 1. And in the article, number 1, it acknowledges that the greatest nickname in baseball, El Mago, came from the Bigs on MLB.com. That is an international story. Javier Baez is one of the biggest superstars in baseball, not only in America, but across the globe. And everybody knows him as El Mago. Every time they do the nickname jersey, he got El Mago on the back of his. And that came from y'all, man. That is huge. I literally think I like hollered when I saw it, when I saw the article on y'all thing, man. That's crazy, man. So I got to give y'all all of the salutes, man, all the kudos, all the big ups y'all deserve, man. Congratulations on just another pelt on y'all wall.
Absolutely, man. You know, Herb, I always appreciate the love, brother. I definitely wish that we was in the studio with you today. But like you said, man, we're blessed. You know what I mean? To be as close as we were to Javi in that 2016-2017 season.
Yeah.
To be as in tune as we were, it's only right that we came up with a nickname that perfectly fit him. And also, of course, you know, with the Bigs, man, and I know Eugene is going to echo these sentiments, is that, man, what we do when we're thinking of our content is we try to make sure that it's aligned with our culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know how it goes when it comes to sports and nicknames. You know what I mean? You can have a nickname for any reason. So what we were doing was just sharing that and putting it on, you know, a major league level.
Yeah.
And it was actually a fun process. You know, it started as the English version, started as the Magician. And once we saw people, you know, biting at it, we went on and flipped it just to see how the industry was working. It was like, okay, if they gonna bite the Magician, let's see if they bite the Spanish version.
Yeah.
And it ended up sticking and blowing up from there, man. It's a couple of important details in between. You know, Gino was able to put a couple of things in his hand, and next thing you know, Javi is calling himself El Mago.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a special process for sure, and it's always dope to see him give us our credit. You know how hard that is, Herb.
Yeah, now that's like it was already crazy enough because I knew y'all gave him that nickname, so it was already crazy enough to see that nickname was determined to be the greatest nickname, but to then actually read the column on it and for them to acknowledge that it certainly came from the Bigs on MLB.com, man, that was huge.
Yeah, man. Like T said, Herb, it was definitely a couple extra steps to that. We were just sitting around doing our thing, and we were trying to think of, you know, new and improved ways to kind of push the content, ways that, you know, we always trying to stand out amongst our peers, and you know, we always want to find another way to separate ourselves. So we were sitting around just trying to come up with ways, and we thought about, hey, how about let's baseball cards and basketball cards with a shit when we were coming up. So we thought, hey man, let's make a baseball card. Let's just try it out. You know, we have John Alexander, who's our photographer, well known, the Reverend Jesse Jackson's personal photographer. for you know John. So John has so many dope pictures. He shot the 2016 season for us. So we got so many dope pictures that we still got. And we took a couple of the pictures and then we added our flair to it. Got the baseball cards back. The things looked outstanding. So me and T, we like, man, look, how about we, show this to Javi and see what he thinks about it. So we got to the locker room, got to the clubhouse. After the media scrum, we pulled Javi to the side, explained exactly what we were doing. When we gave him the card, you should have seen the look on his face because he he took the card and he smiled and shook us up and he put the card in his locker. Right. And I tell you, the next week or two, every time I was in that media scrum, I made sure I looked up in his locker and that card was still there.
Still there. And you knew how important it was to him right there.
Exactly. So it was cool, like Terrance said, to see the growth, see exactly where it started from, and see exactly where it went. Because, like you said, like T knows, it's hard out here, especially for guys like us, independent, Black, trying to do our own thing to be able to get the credit that's deserved. So, yeah, it's cool to see, Javi on nickname day for the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah. He's had El Mago on the back of his jersey. It's become a worldwide thing, and it's always dope to get the credit. But man, that's, like you said, it's just another notch on our belt. Yeah. We're gonna keep it in perspective and continue to keep it moving and continue to push forward, brother.
Man, that thing is fire, man. When I watch the Cubs games, and anytime you hear Lynn Casper or something go, how he make them spectacular plays look routine all the time. And Lynn just gave, man, El Mago strikes again. It's like the name just continues to spread. Now you see like fans wearing the nickname jerseys and the El Mago on the back, and you see it all over Puerto Rico and across the globe, man. That's big time. That's big time, man. So I definitely wanted to start the show off with that piece, man. I was super, super excited early this week. And I told y'all, privately, but I wanted to make sure I said it publicly. I mentioned it I said what I said too, man. But, man, it's a huge, huge thing, man. So, again, big salute to y'all. I know y'all going to keep it rocking as y'all always do, man. I just thought that was super, super cool. So I wanted to make sure we acknowledge that right off the bat. But now we got that out the way. Gino, why don't you go ahead and lay down the rules for the people, man, so we can get this thing rolling.
Man, y'all know what time it is, man. When you hear us on the soil, you know what time it is. But even with the kickoff kickback, man, even with I Said What I Said, even with the Mays Jackson show, the Book of Dawn, all of the shows across the network, man, when y'all tune in and lock in with the people, we need y'all to smash them like buttons.
Smash
that share button.
Smash.
Comment section. Join the conversation. Continue to help the brothers push the content and the culture forward. Over here, What's in it for the Black People Media, man. The Black voice is needed more now than ever, and we got it right here. It's about ownership, and we doing that thing right here. Shout out to Mays Jackson for providing a platform for us. And 2021 is going to be the year, man.
Big Lavender holding it down per usual. Another thing that happened this week that we got to acknowledge, man, rest in peace to Hammer and Hank, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, Hank Aaron, legendary slugger for the Atlanta Braves, broke the all-time home run record in the time that it had to be real tumultuous for him to do it. Death threats, amid all those types of things that was going on, he kept going, kept swinging, kept putting them out the yard, ultimately breaking that long-standing record for a home run. He died this year. I want to say he was 86. Is that right, fellas? I think he was 86 years old.
Sir.
Yeah,
86.
86, man. So just acknowledge the greatness of one Hank Aaron, and say rest in peace and salute to him. A job well done and a race well run. Anything y'all want to say about Hammer and Hank, man?
Well, we talked about it on the soil. That's how we kicked our show off. What was it? Wednesday?
Yeah.
I think it
was Friday.
It was Friday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was Friday, man. And yeah, I'm a baseball guy. Me and T, we're baseball guys. Like I was telling him, man, growing up, my Uncle Jesse, was one of my main sports heroes. He put me in tune with all of the sports coming up, and he made sure that I knew that all of the Black players and all of the different sports that I needed to make sure that I did the history and the knowledge on. And even if you didn't even if you're not a huge sports fan or a huge baseball fan, there's no way that you don't know who Hank Aaron is, what he did on the baseball field, and also the man that he was. So it's not RIP to one of the greatest baseball players of all time, but it's RIP to one of the greatest Black heroes of all time, of voice of civil rights, and just the character of, especially if you play sports, just somebody that you can see who fought through tumultuous times, fought through, you know what he went through trying to break the Babes record, death threats, living an everyday life, but not in fear. You know, he said he wasn't feared. There was no fear in him. He was living that, and if it happened, it happened. It was a famous story about him, and I don't know if it was Dusty Baker. I don't know who it was, but there was a story about them sitting in the dugout, and he told the brother, like, man, don't sit next to me, man, because if I get shot, I don't want any of that to have to, I don't want you to be a part of that. And that there showed, the character of Hank Aaron. So, yeah, man, RIP to one of the greatest. And another thing, like I was telling Terrance, as renowned and as well brought up Hank Aaron is, I still think he was underrated as a baseball player. If he's even top 5 baseball player of all time, I still think he should be higher. So that's just my thoughts on Hank, man. Like you said, Herb, a job well done, 86 years old. And you know the saying, man, legends never die.
For sure, man. For sure. T?
Yeah, man, a straight icon. I was sitting here trying to think of his impact, and I'm just like, any young Black man or woman that picked up the sport of baseball after his time, their involvement in the sport can be credited directly to Hank Aaron, man. That's how much he meant to the game of baseball. I was telling Gene that I remember when Barry Bonds, was on a hunt to break the record, and how often Hank Aaron was in front of the camera in that time.
Yeah.
And I as far as, my fandom goes, that was one of the most important moments in baseball for me, to see that not only was a Black man about to take the sport to the next level, but even before Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron was the baseball king.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you add on the history of baseball and the racism that goes hand in hand with that sport, for Black people, which is the case in most sports, for Black people to be the best of the best,
right?
It's something that we as fans shouldn't take lightly. And Hank Aaron, one of the things I told Gene is that his fingerprints and footprints in the game can be traced back all the way to the beginning of Black baseball history. He played against Satchel Paige. You know what I mean? His favorite player was Jackie Robinson. It inspired him to get into the game. So, that's the kind of icon that we lost this past week, Hank Aaron. We don't get icons like that too often.
Big facts, big facts. Can't say it any better than that, man. When you talk about what he was dealing with the racial piece, and you talk about whose record he was in pursuit of, you talk about the great Bambino, Babe Ruth. To this day, he's still a god to baseball in general, but especially to the good old boys club of baseball. He's still a god. And so at that particular time, you have a Black man in pursuit of Babe Ruth's record in the Deep South. He ain't played in Chicago. Not to say that it would have been all that much better, but he played in the Deep South. You know what I mean? Right. And so, to have to deal with that, man, all you can do is salute it. And the personal story that you just told about him telling his Black teammate, hey, don't sit next to me, man. This ain't really where you want to be. I'm a constant target. You never know when these white folks gonna pull it with me. They might literally try to kill me. I don't want you sitting next to me. They might misfire. They might hit you. Or I don't want you getting no splatter on you or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit next to me, man. That's the type of character that it took to be a Black man in leadership at that time. And it's fitting that, we just celebrated the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, who exhibited that on a daily basis too. He knew how much of a target he was. He knew how hated he was, and the very real threat of his death was each and every day. Yet and still, he persisted on and continued to do what needed doing, man. So again, we just from the kickoff, kickback, everybody, man. We ain't got our cups today, man. Raise a cup to Hank Aaron, man, for the life and legacy of the legendary baseball player and the man that he was, man. Rest in peace to Hank Aaron. Listen, y'all, man, this is one of my favorite days on the sports calendar. Like, it very well may be my favorite day on the sports calendar. Championship Sunday in the NFL, to me, is like, I don't know, man. It tends to be two of the best football games you're going to see all year. I mean, naturally, you get down to the two best teams in any given conference. You expect a good game. Everybody's putting everything on the line, trying to fight to get to that Super Bowl. I look forward to Championship Sunday every single year. In fact, last year, I don't know if I guess the date probably won't align, but last year on Championship Sunday is the day that I ruptured my Achilles trying to play flag football early in the morning. And because it was Championship Sunday, I knew I ruptured my Achilles at like 11 o'clock that morning. I went home, bro. Like I didn't go to the hospital. I already knew what had happened. I knew it wasn't going to get any better or any worse if I went to the hospital right now. I went to the hospital later. I already knew what happened. I heard it pop. I felt it snap. There was nothing for me to touch back there where my Achilles is. So I knew what had happened. I got in my car, I limped to my car. I drove home, watched the two championship games, NFC Championship, AFC Championship, and then sometime at like 10 o'clock that night, I went to the ER and just sat up in there all night until they, you know what I'm saying, went through the triage and put me in the boot and all that. So I already knew what it was, but I wasn't going to miss the NFC Championship just because I had snapped my Achilles in half. That don't make sense.
Herb, you a warrior. That's that Mamba mentality right there. Okay?
I swear, man. But no, I agree with you, Herb. I think obviously the Super Bowl is the game, but I think the NFC Championship, I think championship weekend is definitely the better football because it's, you know, the shenanigans and all of the extra hype and, you know, that extra week that they take to prepare to bring the Super Bowl on. I think all of that hype and all of the extra fanfare and all of the extra concerts and all of that stuff, I think that takes away from the game itself until maybe like the third quarter when all of that hoopla is dead and now it's back to real football. So, Herb, I agree with you, man. There's nothing like championship weekend, and I'm ready to get it cracking, man.
Me too, man.
I totally love championship weekend. Just to echo on y'all's sentiments, man. It's nothing like that week before the championship game where you got both teams fighting, four teams to get to that last game of the year. And Herb, this year the matchups are insane.
Crazy.
I mean, I'm totally looking forward to it and share your feelings for sure.
The matchups are absolutely crazy, man. You finally got Tom Brady in the NFC playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which enables a matchup that is made in heaven, in my opinion. In my opinion, you have the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady playing against the best quarterback of all time in Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is the most talented, skilled quarterback that I've ever seen play the game. And Tom Brady's credentials, you can't argue with his resume. He's the greatest to ever do it. When you just look at everything he's accomplished, he's the greatest. But to me, greatest and best ain't necessarily the same thing. And so I think that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback I've ever seen, and I can't argue that Tom Brady isn't the greatest of all time. And so you get Tom Brady, man, his first year in the NFC, right? And I saw one of those memes. You know, everybody like to clown the Cowboys, and they deserve it because, you know, they act like they're the greatest team ever in America's team. They got the biggest fan base in the world. But it said a conference championship since 1997. Dallas Cowboys, 0. Tom Brady, 1. It says seasons in the NFC since 1997. Dallas Cowboys, 23 of them. Tom Brady, 1. Like, his first season in the NFC, he go to the conference championship game. Cowboys, America's team, ain't been in 20-something years. So I thought that was funny, man. But it's really, really cool that you have Tom Brady going to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field to face off against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. It is a match made in heaven. I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait till we get to the later on in the show to where we pick and figure out who we think gonna win that game. And then in the AFC, you flip over to it. You got the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, led by the guy who may unseat both of those guys as the best and the greatest one day, led by Patrick Mahomes. And they are going up against a Buffalo Bills team, which is everything that they appear to be. That team, man, people kind of underrate them because they up there in the Northeast, and you don't hear a whole lot about them. And the Buffalo Bills haven't really been a championship contender since the mid-'90s. This team can legitimately win the Super Bowl. Ryan, what's the quarterback's name? What's his name? Ryan Allen? Josh Allen.
Mhm.
Josh Allen is as good a quarterback. He's playing as good as anybody in the game right now. That dude has an absolute cannon for an arm. He's mobile enough to get out of the pocket. He can extend plays with his legs. He can make all the throws. He's smart. He's tough. He's a good leader. His teammates follow him. I really, really like everything I've seen from Josh Allen this year. I've seen him make some unbelievable throws this year. I think that dude is playing really, really well. And I got to go back. We had a conversation about the wide receivers a few weeks ago, and y'all said, what about Stephon Diggs in terms of being better than Allen Robinson? And I was like, nah, I'll take Allen Robinson. I was high, okay? like I had to be off that jet fuel rocket pack to say that. Something is wrong with me, okay? I forgot, okay, because he was in our division when he was with the Minnesota Vikings, and now he out there in Buffalo, so I don't get to see him as much, and I kind of out of sight, out of mind of the man. That dude is head and shoulders better than Allen Robinson. And I love Allen Robinson. Stephon Diggs is playing at another level.
No, 100%, Herb. I want to give a special shout out to the Buffalo Bills, man. I'm excited to see those guys back at the top of the league, man. I can remember 25 years ago, back in the Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Bruce Smith,
yeah, man,
Tom Beebe days, when every time they made it, it was either wide left or wide right, man.
Gosh.
So, man, I'm happy to see Josh Allen, because last year he was awful. Like, he was one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's great to see, him overcome that and come back and be one of the top 3-4 quarterbacks in the NFL this year, and has the Buffalo Bills playing at an extremely high level. Like you said, Stephon Diggs, goes without saying. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. When you run up on Pat Mahomes, obviously he was in the concussion protocol all week, got through that, passed that, and I'm pretty sure, he's gotten some extra, whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure they shot him up, hit him with something extra to get him.
You don't miss this game. You won your whole life for this game. You don't miss it. You take the shot and you roll it up. You go out there.
And the commissioner wasn't letting them miss this game.
At all,
right,
man.
Right.
And it's too much money involved, too, so. But I think it's going to be a great game. Me and T talked about it, man. I wouldn't be surprised if the Buffalo Bills, came out on top. But, man, you got to go in the Arrowhead.
It's tough.
And that's one of the top 2 toughest places to play.
That's tough, man.
Then when we switch it over to the NFC, and you got to come into Lambeau, which is probably the toughest place to play. Tom Brady, if it's anybody that can do it, it's the GOAT Tom Brady, man. So Aaron Rodgers is definitely, like you said, probably the coldest quarterback that I've ever seen, man. Some of the stuff that he does,
unbelievable,
the calls that he makes. I mean, you're a former quarterback, Herb, so you know how it goes when you at the line and you got to read the defenses, maybe audible here and there. But
he's special, man.
The stuff he does is he does the unthinkable, man.
He does.
Great matchup today. You got Devontae Adams. You got no AB for Tampa Bay, so somebody's gonna have to step up big over there. And I don't think it could be. I don't think there could be a better matchup on either side, better than the ones we got today.
I agree, bro. I'm totally looking forward to both games. You guys are on point with your perspectives on the outlook for these games. The crazy thing about Buffalo, to add to what you guys were saying, these dudes have 0 running game. Like, literally, I don't know if they ran the ball at more than 2 or 3 times in the second half of last game. But that shows you how lethal that combination of Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is. Stephon Diggs, Herb, I was trying to tell you, man, leading the league in yards and receptions.
You did.
The man is a monster. The man is definitely a monster. But like you guys said, on both sides, on both divisions tonight, I'm looking forward to some all-time games. I know Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers over there, but I'm just excited for the Chiefs versus Buffalo. And Gino, I don't remember the last time the Bills were good. As far as my memory serves, this is the first time I've ever seen these dudes play this late in the season. So it's definitely kind of crazy, but they deserve it. They've been at the top of their game all season.
Yeah, man. So it's just those So I'm like a 3 or 4 years older than UT, and it's just those little 3 or 4 years that make that difference in between being able to see those early '90s Buffalo Bills teams, because those teams were phenomenal, dog. They can hang 40 on you in a heartbeat, like literally. One of the years they still got the greatest playoff comeback in the history of the National Football League. They was down 32 points in a playoff game to Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers, and they came back and won that game with a backup quarterback. They didn't even have Jim Kelly in the game. Frank Reich was in the game. Frank Reich, who's now the coach in the Eagles. Like, he was the quarterback of that team. Brought him back from 32 down to win a playoff game, man. It was phenomenal. That team could put up points in a heartbeat. Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, all those guys, they were absolutely phenomenal. That defense was ridiculous. Bruce Smith, that whole D-line, those linebackers, they were a phenomenal, phenomenal team. I don't even think, like, that'll never happen again. I don't think they could try to get to 4 Super Bowls and lose them all, G. Like, it was unbelievable. Wide left, right. They hitting uprights. It was unbelievable for them to get there 4 times and lose all 4 times. It was crazy, man. And so, for them to be back relevant is really, really cool again. And they are playing as well as anybody. I would not be surprised at all to see them go in the Arrowhead and walk out with the Lamar Hunt Trophy as the AFC champs. But it's a tall order. It's a tall task. So we'll get there later on in the show as we move into our picks. But a lot of other things going on around the NFL, man. We talk about kind of recapping the season. I saw something earlier today that was talking about a potential blockbuster trade that would send Deshaun Watson, quarterback of the Houston Texans, from Houston to Miami. And Miami would like to send Tua Tagovailoa back to Houston, and Houston's like, that ain't enough, fam. That ain't gonna cut it. We're not trading y'all Deshaun straight up for Tua. Y'all got to send a pick back or something else. Like, that's not gonna work. And so when you look at Houston, and again, all I can do is every time I get pissed off at that lady sitting up at the top of Hallis Hall, I get pissed off because Deshaun Watson should be playing for the Bears. Now he out there playing for Houston. He's finna be switching teams already. Now, if I was him, I would want out of there too. That is a terrible operation they got going on over there. As soon as they traded DeAndre Hopkins, you knew that operation was finished. And so I would want out if I was him too. We'll see if that trade goes through. Any other storylines y'all looking forward to this offseason around the league?
Go ahead, James. Go ahead.
Well, the same thing, like you said, Herb. Me and T talked about this week, and it was about where Deshaun Watson would end up, and our pick was definitely the Miami Dolphins. It's like, what? First of all, why would you? And does he have a no trade clause?
I don't think so. I think because he's still on his rookie deal, right?
No, Deshaun Watson does have the no trade deal. Remember, him and Pat Mahomes just read up in the.
Oh, that's right. They did re-up. Right. I'm tweaking.
Right. So, first of all, why would I want to come to Chicago?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Number 2, let's talk about living in Chicago versus living in Miami. I can get it in Miami.
Taking my talents to South Beach, baby.
Come on, man. And then number 3, I want to play for the black head coach who's going to give me the leeway, who's going to trust in my IQ, who's going to trust in my $160 million deal. I can be an extension of the coach on the field. I don't have to have that old lady and this 1955 version of NFL football, on my conscience. So, and then the last thing, AT, what did Ross say about the coach, the Miami head coach?
Flores. I like him.
Flores. So I'm pretty sure Rick Rice. I'm pretty sure Rose threw the kite out there to Deshaun Watson and was like, "Hey, bro, whatever you need to get you down here, I'm the plug in the MIAO. I got you. Just holler at me. I'll put the word in. I'll make sure that that's a nice, easy transition. I got a crib for you already set up,
ready.
The goons don't take care of you, man. So I'm expecting to see Deshaun Watson, the new quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, man.
Gino, man, don't even put that into the atmosphere, bro. I don't even know why you're trying to tell the universe that is going to happen. Because until it doesn't, I still feel like the Bears are the best place for Deshaun Watson to be. just like it was on his draft day. He should have been a Chicago Bear on his draft day.
He should have been on his draft day. For
Excuse me. And now the opportunity presents itself for the universe to right its wrong, okay? And Gino, let me tell you why the Chicago Bears are the best place for Deshaun Watson, okay? What other team can give him a ready-made offense that's ready to go day one from all facets? Not only did the offensive line improve throughout the season, but they were protecting Mitch Trubisky for the last section of the season. And then you look at the backfield with David Montgomery. He had a coming out season. And then when you look at the wide receiver core, this is something that Miami does not have. Okay, outside of Devontae Parker, we can't name any of those Dolphins receivers. But in Chicago, you have Allen Robinson, who I hope, as they're discussing this Deshaun Watson trade,
Man,
they
we gotta
getting
talk about
Allen
that.
Robinson bag ready. They getting his bag ready. But even after Allen Robinson, you're talking about Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet,
Yeah.
Demo, Matt Nagy, who's been questionable when it comes to play calling. But you give him a guy like Deshaun Watson, I'm sure that playbook is going to open up.
Tariq is coming back.
Tariq is coming back. Yeah, I mean, it's some weapons.
I'm straight
in Chicago for Deshaun Watson. Now, what's important, Gino, because you brought up the no trade clause though. That is the most important thing, because I saw that he came out today and said that whatever the two teams that they said he wanted to go to yesterday was Huff. They was like, no, that's not true. I don't want to go to the Jets. And Miami ain't necessarily on my radar because they're lacking in some areas. Now, I feel like you got a point though with the black head coach. I wonder if in Houston it was more about him being part of the decision-making process and not necessarily the hard stance of you got to have a black coach coaching me. And even in Chicago, if you look at the management situation, if he comes to Chicago and say that, they have an average season, could he be part of the decision-making process to bring a new GM? Are the Bears willing to give a black quarterback the keys, which is what we vocally said that's an impossibility on the kickback since we started it. So I understand the hurdles, but I feel like if the Bears can find a way to get off their high horse, they can position themselves as one of the top teams that can land Watson. I definitely think that he's played his last snap in Houston, and I totally feel like every team in the league, low-key, even if they're not announcing it, they got to be behind closed doors like, hey, you think we can get Deshaun Watson? You know what I mean? The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
It's a few teams that got to be looking at Watson like, can we swoop in and make this real? So
Indianapolis Colts got to be in on that conversation. The Vikings might be having that conversation. A lot of teams would be thrilled to have somebody like Deshaun Watson. I think that, just from a quarterback perspective, to wake up one morning, you go to sleep with perhaps the best wide receiver in the National Football League, and then you wake up the next morning and find out your team traded him without even asking your opinion on it. Like that has to be like, what? Y'all sent my best target away. The hell y'all doing out here, man? Y'all tweaking. And so you got. I'm sure ever since then he's just been counting down the days to get out of Houston, and I personally don't blame him. Does Chicago have some things to offer in terms of, a still solid defense? I think they are coming on the back end of the prime of that defense for guys like Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, Danny Trevathan. Those guys are getting up there. I still think they got another year or two of prime football with the roster set as it is. And so there are some things in place for a young quarterback to come and say, okay, over the next couple years, we got a chance to really compete for a championship here. And it's attractive. I mean, it's a world-class city. Chicago, we all love it. But at the same time, I don't know if the Bears will make that move. I don't know if the Bears are willing to make a young black quarterback the face of their franchise. I don't know that they're willing to do that. And so that remains to be seen. We will see. Speaking of the Bears, though, Allen Robinson, man, he's a free agent. He signed with the Bears 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years. I want to say I think he got $14 million. So I think it was like three years, something like $42 million a year. I think he averaged like $14 million per. And he's out before he played well throughout the entirety of that contract. He's due for another one. He is an unrestricted free agent right now. Obviously, the Bears can put the franchise tag on him. He's been as vocal as you'll hear Allen Robinson be on such issue to say, I don't want to be franchise tagged. Nobody does, right? It's the difference between securing 40, 50 million guaranteed for your family or one more year at, 17, 18 million. Like, I'm trying to get the big bag over the long haul, secure my family, not have to worry about, are we going to move again next year? Can I actually buy a house this time? Like, you know what I mean? And so he definitely wants the long-term contract, as he should, and he's earned it right here in Chicago. Do y'all think that lady, her sons, and Ryan Pace are going to fork up the money and keep Allen Robinson in the city of broad shoulders?
Is it safe to say that I don't know?
Yeah.
I mean, because I totally feel that Allen Robinson had a point. He was like, if they wanted to sign me, it was a few opportunities during the season to get the deal done.
They would have done it.
And then the press conference, Ryan Pace's comments didn't shed really any light on the situation. And this is just starting to look like another situation where they're about to drop the ball. It's a complete injustice for Allen Robinson to not be locked up right now. It's like, what else did you want this man to do? So I totally feel like this is showing Ryan Pace's, ineptitude. This is one of the clear looks into the window of how Ryan Pace operates. And if he's not willing to treat a guy like Allen Robinson with the utmost respect, then it's like, well, good luck with making anything else good happen. You know what I mean? Because if Allen Robinson walks away, then that's going to leave one of the biggest. It's instantly one of the biggest issue on your team.
That instantly becomes the biggest hole you have. Now, obviously, Darnell Mooney had a very good rookie season, but I'm not finna say that man is ready to step into a number one wide receiver role. He's undersized. He's not a jump ball type of guy. He's not a possession receiver. He can make the big plays, and I really like him. But to get rid of Allen Robinson and expect him to then ascend into that number one role, I think that is asking a lot of him. Anthony Miller, he's shown flashes over the course of his career, but he hasn't been able to sustain anything. I see G like, nah, that's Huff, thumbs down on that piece. And I agree. He's shown he didn't have the ability to keep his head in a pressure situation. We were already without Darnell Mooney in a playoff game. This was your opportunity to step up and show what you can do for the Bears team as the number 2 receiver, and you did not get that done for the Bears. You got yourself ejected from the game, hitting the dude who Matt Nagy and all offensive coaches already told y'all all week long, number 22, Gardner Johnson, he's going to try to get in your head. He's going to try to get one of y'all ejected. When the last time the Bears played him, Javon Williams lost his whole mind, fired on the dude, 3-pieced him in the middle of the game. You know what I'm saying? Got himself suspended for 2 games. So you already know what type of dude this is. You let that same dude get you out your body. You swing on him, get kicked out the game, bro. So Anthony Miller got a lot of maturing to do, let alone improvement to make as a football player. So that would leave a huge hole on the roster if they let Allen Robinson walk out the door. Do you see any way they bring that man back?
Man, like T said, man, I'm really, to be honest with you, man, I'm just really at a loss of words for the Bears franchise as a whole, because and I think we should just get into this conversation now about that press conference, man. I mean, it was a Travis Sham mockery, man. It was even worse than I expected. It was like, man, who do y'all guys think y'all talking to, man? Just talking about Allen Robinson and Ted Phillips and them, they were on there talking about how much they revere him and how much they love him. It's like, okay, well, stop talking. The money talks, bro. Like, show that man the money. Show that man the money for being a model of consistency for this wannabe, updated NFL offense, which I think was lackluster. Allen Robinson had to make the most of it, and that which he did. So it's like, show that man the money. Don't try to franchise him for that 16, 17 mil. Let him get his 20 plus, put the money on the table, and let him flourish, man. And then, talking about, I don't know if it was JJ Stankovic or if it was Mark Grody. I can't remember who it was. But they asked Ted Phillips, like, well, man, what can you offer Bears fans as a sign of progression and a sign of being a championship contender for the next year? And this guy had the nerve to come out and say Darnell Mooney. And and no disrespect to Darnell Mooney, he was definitely more than
it ain't about him, right?
But this is a 5th round pick from Tulane that we talking about, bro.
Let's be for real.
Stop
He 5'9", $180. Like,
come on, dog. Stop that, man. So I just feel like, man, that whole press conference was a slap to the face to all Chicago Bears fans. And you know, we're gonna take it. We're gonna take it because these are the cards that we've been dealt, and this is a yearly thing, man. And me and T always talk about it. You know, it was like putting the pressure. You put the pressure on the Bears. How do you do that? It's like, well, man, don't tune into the games. Don't buy tickets. Don't buy the merch. And it's like, well, if we don't buy the tickets and we don't buy the merch and we don't tune into the games, the Bears are a worldwide franchise. There are fans all over the world that wear that blue and orange seat, and they're gonna pick up the slack. However, and I think one other thing, Herb, that people forget is that this is a family business, bro. Like, regardless of how they do record-wise in the NFL, they could be caking up outside of the football world. So people got to keep that in mind, man. Like, the end of the day, this is a business, and it's all about that dollar. It's all about the capital. And as long as their books are looking good, man, pleasing the fan base and putting a championship contender out on the football field is secondary, in my opinion. If I'm Allen Robinson, man, I don't see it happening, bro.
Maybe he link up with Deshaun down on South Beach, man. Maybe Deshaun will still be his quarterback next year.
Yeah. I feel like if you're Allen Robinson, you're definitely keeping an eye on some of these quarterback movements, whether it be Deshaun Watson, Matt Stafford, Dak Prescott may be rocking another jersey at the beginning of next season. So yeah, it's some musical chairs when it comes to quarterbacks for sure, though.
Now that would be a move. A-Rob down in Dallas opposite CeeDee Lamb with Dak Prescott pulling the trigger. That would be an offense I would watch for sure.
And then you know what? Go ahead, T.
I'm just saying, I feel like Jerry Jones has been looking for any reason to move on from Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if Dak Prescott is on another squad. I know they wanted to be in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes, but Justin Fields is out there. You know, who knows? You know, what Jerry Jones has up his sleeve. Maybe he wants to trade Dak. Who knows? But Dak is going to be looking for a contract, so I'm not. So scratch that idea of Dallas trading him. But yeah, man, it's going to be some free agents out here.
Like you said, what do you guys think about Matt Stafford saying he wanted out of Detroit? He wants to win. Do you think the Indianapolis Colts are first up on his list? Do you think that would be like the perfect place for him?
If I'm Matt Stafford, I'm looking beyond Indianapolis. I'm looking at San Francisco, who they've had quarterback issues. I'm looking at New Orleans with Drew Brees retiring, and I know Jameis Winston is there, but if Matt Stafford is available, that's almost like a plug and play situation for New Orleans.
True.
And honestly, as a Bears fan, I would like Stafford in a Bears jersey, but I know that is, in a division, and ain't no way they're trading Stafford within a division,
Yeah, that's true. Well, now they didn't trade him. They sent him to the Jets first. I was gonna say we saw Brett Favre play for the Vikings, but he went to the Jets first, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Listen, fellas, we gotta take a break, man. When we come back from the break, I want to get into something, man. DJ is questioning the greatness or the stature of Tom Brady. He's making some valid points, but I want to have this conversation about his greatness in terms of the Super Bowls that he has versus maybe how many he should have. Because I think DJ's making a really, really good point. Now, he has 5 rings or 6?
6.
He's got 6 rings. I would say that 3 of those rings, at least 3, are capped.
4 cap. 4 are cap for sure.
We're going to take this break. When we come back, let's have that conversation about Tom Brady. Later on, you can hear from us on our picks for Championship Sunday. This is the Kickoff Kickback. T, Gene, and Herb. We'll be right back.
WIFTVPN.
Hey Chicago, it's Dawn Millhouse from the Book of Dawn. There's a lot of fake news about the COVID vaccine, just false information. So our station has joined the Protect Chicago team to help share the truth about the vaccine and dispel the rumors. I hear all the time, I've already had COVID. I don't need the vaccine. You're wrong. Get the facts by visiting the What's in It for the Black People Media page on Facebook and www.chicago.gov/COVIDvax. That's COVIDVAX. We're in this together, Chicago.
Hey Chicago, you know we've all been impacted by COVID, especially in our communities. Help protect Chicago. We need everyone to stay safe and get the facts about the COVID-19 vaccine. Visit the What's in it for the Black People Media Facebook page and www.chicago.gov/COVIDVax for the facts.
Mama, chocolate. Chances make champions. On the solid, I'm a problem, you can't disregard me. Got some bottles and exotic, with your bitch we slotted. I be with goblins, keep some Glocks, we ain't boxing or arguing. No pocket watching, only focus on what's in your wallet. Foot on they necks, I'm a stepper, I apply that pressure. The mob be with me through whatever, we grew up aggressive. Better keep your bitch on the leash, or I bet I catch her. She give me brain like professors, that whole extra clever. All she get is dick and refreshments, don't ask extra questions. We in the party with some weapons, keep yourself together. We hot now, Christian owners, yeah, we came with relish. Make it rain on the dancers, fucked around and changed the weather. Me and my brother know how to maneuver, been in it too long, bitch, we know what we doing. Get off them drugs and turn into bull. Whole gang off the yang, we rollin', we groovy. Lord here tweaking on all kind of bullshit, he clutching the 40, he know how to use it. Them hoes just people that slid in between us, they happy to meet us. You know they be choosing. Yeah, we get to the money usually. The fuck are you doing? All that playing tough just to get stumped. The fuck are you proving? Call my homie Quan, shorty low, he pulled up in some foolish. He say them drugs been doing the U-Haul, constantly moving. Saucy, big drip on me like a faucet. I'm awesome, hot as coffee, slick talker. I can't keep these hoes up on me. Hit the bank, make a deposit, names look salty, must feel awful. Hit the bank, make a withdrawal, walk out, pockets bulky. No, the ops don't want no problems. They maneuver real cautious. We keep them pistols in unreach, get you folded like laundry off them drugs. I'm a zombie, fuck a bitch till she exhausted. Whole section full of bosses, y'all just whatchamacall it. Long Lil Tito and Go Curry, them boys with some bosses. We calculate our every move, can't afford no more losses. My people vultures, mob time, bitch you better not cross us. Have Lord them bell, I start tossing, turn y'all out to fossils. This shit getting colossal, need that money pronto. These lions hungry in the jungle, bring beef to your front door. I'm smoking maple leaves, this weed here came from Toronto. Cute, thick as fuck and know how to shut up, bitch the perfect combo. We been flexing, acting retarded, cutting up in them parties. Soon as we enter, they know we them niggas, y'all whatchamacallit. Stay with some shooters, James Harden, they clutching in Target. Same hoe you in love with, gain them boulders, she fucking for 40. Can't over-rock with no whore, I won't settle for less. Can't get a bitch no Pandora or no Panda Express. And meetings with them lords, trying to expand and invest. Goddamn, they upset, they really can't stand that I'm honest. Saucy, big drip on me like a faucet. I'm awesome, hot as coffee, slick talker. I can't keep these hoes up on me. Hit the bank, make a deposit, lanes look salty, must feel awful. Hit the bank, make a withdrawal, walk out, pockets bulky. No, the ops don't want no problems, they maneuver real cautious. We keep them pistols.
Welcome back. We are live from the What's in it for the Black People Media Studios. This is the Kickoff Kickback. My name is Herb Howard. I am alongside the legendary brothers. They go by the name of the Bigs. It is none other than Terrance Tomlin and Eugene McIntosh. Thank y'all so much for choosing to hang out with us on this Sunday morning. We truly, truly appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in and being here. Listen, man, we was talking about the fact that it's Championship Sunday. It's one of the very best days on the sporting calendar all year long, right up there with, March Madness or Final Four, Elite Eight. People like the Elite Eight too, those types of days, man. And I'm excited about it. We talked about, some of the things that are happening around the league, what some of those matches are going to look like, what are some of the potential new homes for some of those players across the league this offseason. And I want to have this conversation that actually DJ is talking about Tom Brady. But before we do, DJ is talking something else that's kind of crazy to me too. And I want the brothers' opinion on this piece. I don't see this as any possibility. Shout out to Don Millhouse, she in the building. She's saying Kansas City gonna hold it down today. I don't see any possibility of Mitch Trubisky getting franchise tagged by the Bears. DJ is convinced that that's what's gonna happen. I say there's no way in hell. The franchise tag is going to cost them about $25 million for the quarterback. If you're not familiar with the franchise tag is, when a player's contract expires, that team has the right to sign them to the franchise to franchise tag that player. What that means is that player is stuck with that team for another year, and that player automatically gets paid the average of the top 5 salaries at that position. So Mitch Trubisky would be paid as a top 5 quarterback in the league next year, which would pay him $25 million. I don't see a chance in hell that you give Mitch Trubisky $25 million for one season. First of all, he's a free agent. And so I don't think that he can command that kind of money on the open market. And so I just don't see it. To me, it just doesn't make mathematical sense to negotiate against myself to say, okay, I'll give him $25 million when if he hits the open market, nobody's going to give him more than 20. Let him hit the open market, and then you can try to and bid in on that piece as opposed to giving them $25 million for 1 year. I see something like, now I'm not saying he's gone. I think they might bring him back, but I see them bringing him back somewhere around 3 years, you know, 50 million, 3 years, 55, 60 million, something like that, to where he's going to probably be guaranteed 25 million over the course of that thing. But 25 for 1 year, I don't really see that. How y'all feel?
Mm-hmm.
Gino,
that's not happening, man. And Gino, I want to make sure that you know that you hear this, because I know you've been on Mitch's side for a good part of the season. But that man's gonna be wearing another jersey come the start of next season.
I'm not sure about that.
A couple of, you know what? And here's my philosophy, Herb. When the Bears decided to keep Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, to me that meant the person that was going to that we were going to see basically get blamed for everything that went wrong is Mitch Trubisky. Yep.
Okay.
He's going to be the scapegoat. And I feel like we can see him maybe on the Jets. I mean, as the backup quarterback to one of these top rookies that's about to come in. You know, I feel like that is like a reasonable next step for Mr. Trubisky. But I feel like with the way that they talked at that press conference, man, Mr. Trubisky's Bears days may be over. I think that Matt Nagy, and I said it when he switched quarterbacks in week 3. He was itching for a reason to get Mr. Trubisky out of here. And if Matt Nagy has the power that it looks like he has within this organization, we've seen the last of Mr. Trubisky in the Bears uniform.
But T,
this year?
I'm
sorry.
No, go ahead, DJ. What you say?
How many games did they win this year? 8, right?
8.
How many games did Mitch Trubisky win for us?
7 or 6. 6 or 7.
He won 7. I mean, like,
first of all, he was getting his ass beat against the Falcons. Nick Foles won that game.
Yeah.
I mean, we got
like Mitch did the bare minimum. Now, no matter how you slice it, Mitch was a bare minimum average quarterback this year.
Wow.
You telling me he was better than that?
Come on, money making Mitch, Gino. Come on with it, man.
Bare minimum average. Come on, bro.
I be saying bare minimum.
Gee, he lost his job to Nick Foles. This is a bare minimum quarterback.
He didn't lose his job because he was playing terrible football, though.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He was torn out.
And it stretches back to how terrible he was the year before. He started the year on a short leash, which is why he lost his job like that.
No, he lost his job like that because of what you said about Matt Nagy having the power to snatch his job from up under him.
But they bought Nick Foles in for a reason.
Nick Foles was trash.
The second that he's trash, but the second they bought Nick Foles in, it was only a matter of time before he ended up behind center.
I agree.
They were going to pass the sticks, and it's because Mitch had been ass most of his career.
I disagree with that, man. And where did Nick Foles end up?
Nick Foles ended up on the shelf like a used toy, like a toy you don't play with no more. But the thing is, Mitch had did this to himself. Like, you had to see if Nick Foles was better, and that's not anybody's fault, but Mitch Trubisky.
No other quarterback in NFL history has had his job taken from him starting off a season undefeated.
Like, undefeated is cool, but
I like how y'all play on games? That. I really like how y'all play on that. Like, y'all wasn't watching that game.
Herb, Do you see the terms they try to use on
You know what I'm
us?
saying?
Like, we didn't see us.
Did they not put up 30 the first week? They put up 30. Too bad the defense that y'all was saying was Super Bowl ready couldn't hold the Detroit Lions. That ain't Mitch's fault. They put up a 30 pack.
That's real spill.
Okay. Now what about this playoff game? Okay. The last time we saw Mitch Trubisky on the football field, he scored 3 points in a playoff game.
Bam. The Bears scored 3 points in the playoff game. Matt Nagy did not. They didn't even throw the ball. They threw the ball down the field one time. One time, bro.
That's true. Juice dropped the touchdown. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
We all agree.
That was ridiculous.
We all agree that Matt Nagy and the offensive scheme this year, until like the last 4 or 5 games of the season, they did not put Mitch Trubisky in the best position to succeed. And I think that was more than 75% of the reason why Mitch looked like trash.
Who did Mitch beat? Like, what team did Mitch beat that has y'all like, oh, Mitch
Nobody.
is that dude? He beat trash
They beat the
teams.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They might beat the Super Bowl representative from the conference.
That was in what, week 2 or 3 of the season? Tom Brady is just kicking the tires to see what he has.
They beat the teams that were put in front of him, bro. Mitch didn't make the schedule, man.
For 6 weeks, that wasn't the case. Okay?
And that wasn't his fault. That was Nick Foles.
Thank you, man. Nick Foles was the quarterback 5 of them weeks.
I cannot believe that Gino, you and DJ is up here piloting and co-piloting the Mitch Trubisky fan plane. What? Like, I cannot believe y'all right now. Let me go ahead. Yes, sir.
All I'm saying is bare minimum average. I'm not going with that. Bare minimum average. There were much worse quarterbacks in the NFL this year than Mitch Trubisky.
Agree. I thought, like I said, a couple weeks ago we talked about it. We gave him a grade for that first 3-game stretch of the season and a grade for the last 4 or 5 games that he played. And D minus on those first couple games. And then I gave him a B plus for the back end. But the playoff game, the Green Bay game, he left a lot to be desired. DJ, you brought this foolishness up, man. Where are you coming from?
I got a quick question. So now you gave him a D minus. Okay. Go ahead, Tim.
No. Go ahead, DJ. Go ahead.
I was just saying, you gave him a D minus in the first 2 games that he was undefeated in, and he threw 5 touchdowns and 2 picks. Like, what's an A? 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks?
Gee,
what's an A?
He got benched. What? Like, y'all? Like, I don't appreciate how
because the coach wanted that. We saw that. That's the reason that he brought him in. Yeah, but undefeated.
This is what I'm saying, though.
You know what, Herb? The issue is it's not enough stats to really quantify how bad Mitch Trubisky is, because you got to look at how many missed receivers did he.
Bro.
Both
of them.
That was an actual stat.
Yeah. Both of them watched those games. Both of them watched the games. They know good and hell well, 2-0 or not, that was not a quarterback playing elite level football. It was not.
I didn't say elite. I didn't say elite.
You did it.
And now, let me address a comment real quick.
Go ahead.
Because I see our boy Brian Hudson. He says Matt Nagy destroyed the boy's career due to shitty play calling and poor management. We got to be careful not to place too much blame on Matt Nagy, because Mitch Trubisky coming into the league, what were his issues? His issues were decision making.
His issues were he played 12 games at North Carolina. Nobody knew he could ball.
Exactly.
And he really hasn't improved. Those are still the knocks on Mitch Trubisky. That's not Matt Nagy's fault.
You know what, man? You know who I put this on? Same person I always put it on.
Right.
That lady. That old lady. It's her fault, bro. Listen to me, G. The Bears leadership, you talk about Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace never wanted Mitch Trubisky to be his quarterback. You know how I know he didn't? Because his ass gave Mike Glennon $20 million for 1 year to come over here and keep Mitch Trubisky from playing football. That's how much he didn't want this dude to be his quarterback. He gave Mike Glennon a dub to come here. Mike Glennon, a whole dub for 1 year. Like, that's how trash he thought Mitch Trubisky was. He never wanted him here. And so even after he had Mitch Trubisky, they go 12-4. Then they come back 8-8. Ryan Pace's like, okay, he is who I thought he was. Matt Nagy's like, yo, I can't win with this dude. Give me somebody else. They bring in Nick Foles. Okay, they bring in Nick Foles to take his job. They've been trying to give this man's job away since they drafted him, but they had to draft him because that lady said you can't take either one of them Negroes to be the face of my daddy's franchise. It's not going to happen. So I put all of this squarely at the wrinkled up feet of that lady.
Herb, you're completely on point. I mean, you are completely on point. Ever since Mitch got here, after that trade, everything has pointed to the fact that they don't like this man, Mitch Trubisky. Gino, I swear we got to check those direct deposits because I know Mitch must be making sure you're good. Because
he ain't just calling Gino on the phone. He cash apping Gino like, hey, please do what you can to keep my reputation halfway solid going into my free agency summer, man.
I can't believe y'all, man. I can't. Obviously, I'm giving Mitch that blame, but I'm telling y'all, Ryan Pace is an idiot, and I feel like Matt.
Is that him on the phone, DJ?
Yeah, that's Mitch, man. He said it's blasphemy what y'all talking about.
Put it through to Gino because I don't want to talk to that bum. Put it through to Gino. Gino, your man's is on the phone.
Pick it up, Gino. I mean, his first game, he had a 104 passer rating, y'all. He threw 3 touchdowns, no picks, and you immediately get a man a D. Like, what do he need? Like, what does he need to do to get an A? That's all I'm saying. Like, y'all making him trash, and he's not trash.
I'm not saying he's trash. I'm saying he's not $25 million a year quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
Just 1 year.
I'm saying I was wondering if he was trash before the season started, and at the end of the season, I'm sure he's trash.
Hot garbage. Did he hang up, man?
I think he hung up on that comment right there.
Mitch,
you need to hang up. Talk to your man, bro.
Like my man Devin said, Mitch got the Bears to the playoffs, man. So say what y'all want to say. Yeah, they were 8-8. Yeah, it was the fact that the Arizona Cardinals jagged. Yeah, it was the fact that COVID was all around the league. But the Bears made the playoffs due to the better than average play of Mitch Trubisky towards the end of the season. And I'm going to leave it at that. If y'all want to call him garbage, that's cool. But I'm not calling him garbage. I'm not saying he's raw either, but I'm saying that he's in the middle of the pack of NFL quarterbacks.
And I can be right there with you. All I'm saying is that's not
the middle
25
of the pack.
M's.
That definitely ain't 25 M's. Let's not get that misconstrued at all.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Don't tag the man. I think the Bears will bring him back. I think he probably will be the Bears quarterback next year.
Okay.
Just not at 25 mil for one season.
No way.
If Mitch Trubisky is the quarterback of the Bears next season, it's going to be a very disgruntled T on the kickoff kickback every Sunday, okay? Okay? I'm going to be trying to find reasons to talk about everybody but the Bears if Mitch Trubisky is the quarterback starting next season.
Hey, do this.
Just real quick, Jim. Go ahead.
No, you go. Finish your point, bro.
I'm looking at the schedule, DJ. I know you got the schedule pulled up. Yo, the Lions, this right here. I'm picturing that DeAndre Swift missed touchdown that would have won the Lions the game.
Right.
Week 2, you're playing the Giants who just lost Saquon Barkley. Your defense only gives up 13 points. You still only score 17. Okay? The next game, week 3 versus the Falcons, you needed Nick Foles to come in and grab the sticks from you. Okay?
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky started the season very rocky.
Say not really.
You said the season started pretty rocky for Mitch. And honestly, when I say that he can end up on the Jets or a team like that, I think that's a better situation for Mitch Trubisky. I mean,
a better situation for you.
So 5-2 is rocky. So his first 2 games, after he ended his first 2 games, he had 5 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions with 2 wins. And that's what? That's a D-, right?
Yeah, he wasn't playing good football, bro. Like you can say what you want,
he
man.
Had a 104 passer rating the first game.
I don't care, bro. Just the same way as we was looking at, like we was talking about Khalil Mack early in the season, and his statistics were not there, but I was still telling you this man is playing great football. He's impacting the game. All last year we was talking about Leonard Floyd. I'm like, that dude is playing great football. I don't care that they don't say he got this amount of sacks. He's playing really, really good football, and the same could be true in reverse. You could have stats, and I'm still like, nah, dude, you're not nice like that. I felt that way about Emmitt Smith's whole entire career. Whole career. Man, finished his career all-time leading rusher. I was never impressed by his career. I was impressed at his toughness when he went up there and played in Philadelphia with the separated shoulder and put that team on it. Cool. But I never thought Emmitt Smith was all that cold. I never thought he belonged in the conversation with Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, Jim Brown. He doesn't belong in that conversation. His stats, you can miss me with all that shit. He got 3 Super Bowls. He got the record for most rushing yards. I seen the dude play. My eyes tell me if this dude is playing good football or not the piece of paper at the end of the game. Like, that's all I'm saying. I watched the game. Mitch wasn't playing good football. His head coach stood on the sideline, watched the game, won 2 games with him. He didn't pull him after 2 losses. He pulled him after 2 wins, which lets me know that his head coach knew he was playing trash. Like, it's the stats. Like, I hear what you're saying, and it's a valid argument if that's the argument you want to make. But it's not that black and white. It's not that simple. Y'all watched that game. That man was not playing elite level football, which a 104 passer rating would suggest he was. That's not true. It's not true. Thank you.
Hey, spoken like a genius, Herb.
So, all right, let's move on to this other thing that DJ is talking about. And I'm a little closer to DJ on this piece, except for what the bottom line is. And the bottom line is that I think it's inarguable that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. You look at his accomplishments, you look at everything that he has on his wall, it's hard for me to say he's not the greatest of all time. That being said, he's not the best I've ever seen. Like, he doesn't have, a really, really strong arm. He's not athletic at all. He can't move but he's won. And so you got to give him credit for that. Although when you look back through the championships, he won 6 of them. I would say at least 3. And I know you said 4 of them, DJ, but the 3, I would take away 3 of them. One, the first one, because they shouldn't even been there. The tuck rule. The tuck rule. Charles Woodson sacked that man clean, took the ball in the AFC Championship. They had no business being in the Super Bowl that year. They should not have won that one. Second time, Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks will never win another Super Bowl as long as that franchise exists, because the football gods just don't allow you to do something so stupid as to get down to the 1-yard line and not give it to a dude nicknamed Beast Mode on the 1. You throw a pass, it gets intercepted, they win the Super Bowl. Like, that's 2 Super Bowls that they shouldn't have. And then the third one, the Atlanta Falcons went Atlanta Falcons and lost a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. That is unbelievable. So those 3 Super Bowls, I would say he shouldn't even have. Now, before any of these Patriot lovers and Tom Brady supporters be like, well, what about the 2 Giants Super Bowls? Those were miraculous plays. They should have won those Super Bowls. What is his name? David Tyree caught the ball on his head, and then Mario Manningham caught that ball on the sideline when Eli Manning dropped an absolute dime on that sideline. Here's the difference for me in those 2 things. The 3 games that they shouldn't have won, the 3 Super Bowls they shouldn't have, those came from decisions that were made off of the playing field. Those decisions were made by referees, the tuck rule, or coaches throwing the ball on the goal line or giving the game away in the fourth quarter. Those things happen off the field. Those plays that the Giants made were players making plays on the field, and you can't take that away from a player. I don't care if he caught it with his toes. The man caught the ball, and so you can't take that away from him. And so I say the Giants earned those Super Bowls. But those 3, I don't think that the Patriots should have those 3. Which other one was you speaking on, DJ?
The Deflategate when they came with the Nerf balls.
Oh, no, I'm cool with that.
No,
I'm cool.
They had Nerf balls.
No, I'm cool. No,
I think
cool.
I gave my son that when he was first born. It was like soft, cuddly, and it had Barney on it.
Again, Tom Brady's not a super athlete. His hands aren't that big. His arm isn't that strong. Take a little bit of air out that ball. He can hold it a little bit better. He can control it. He can throw a little bit better. You ain't cheating. You ain't trying. I ain't tripping off that. Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I ain't tripping off that piece. But those, at least 3 of those Super Bowls, the man shouldn't have. I agree with you. How y'all feel, brothers?
You know what, Herb? You took my thoughts again, bro. That first Super Bowl, I'll never forget that one. I think that Patriots versus Raiders game was the game after the Bears versus Eagles game, where Donovan dunked on the goalpost and Geno was in the crowd with like 2 or 3 McNabb jerseys on. That was the same weekend, and I remember sitting in my living room because I hadn't moved since the Bears lost, watching that Patriots versus Oakland game, and then comes the play where Charles Woodson gets that sack, but they called it an incomplete pass. I remember sitting there, Herb, saying, "Well, that was a sack, fam. Like,
Clearly.
how was that an incomplete pass?" It, remember the snow, the Raiders in those classic white jerseys. That was an epic moment. That was the play that catapulted Tom into Golden Boy status.
And
If you get
Adam
that call,
Vinatieri too.
yeah, oh yeah. But you know what? And here's one thing I always remember when you talk about if Tom Brady was lucky or not. I think about how many drives I've seen Bears quarterbacks end on an interception when you just need them to get in field goal range. You know what I mean? And Tom Brady continuously got his team in position to win the game. And that is greatness.
He did. He gave his chance
That is
team.
greatness.
He gave his team a chance every single time.
Hey,
exactly.
Hey, man. The quarterback is the toughest position in all the sports. Like you said, he may not be the coldest, but consistent, on point. I saw a lot of people this year talking about he was washed up because of the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers started off the season. He was just getting his feet wet, going over there. Come on, man. The man got a 6-piece, man. He's done that with any. You probably can't even name the receivers, Joe. He turned Julian Edelman, and who was the other white homies that he done turned into? Come on, man.
Wes Welker.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
All them dudes. Wes Welker, Amendola, all them even cats like Deion Branch. Like Deion Branch was like Super Bowl MVP one year. Like, it's unbelievable. Like,
that's the sign. And Herb, again, I'm deferring to you because you played the position.
Nah, that's real, bro.
That's the sign of greatness. When you make the players around you the best possible guys that they can be. And he's turned these guys, they go somewhere else and get 3, 4, 5 year deals to be able to finish
and be huff as hell.
Come on, Herb. So that alone is why I call Tom Brady the GOAT. I still think Walter Payton is the GOAT. I still think Jerry Rice is the GOAT. I still think Deion Sanders is the GOAT. I think Barry Sanders is the GOAT.
Yeah.
I think Lawrence Taylor is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of GOATs. But when it comes down to it, man, I think Tom Brady is definitely the most, what word would I use?
Accomplished, decorated.
Yeah, the most accomplished quarterback in NFL history, man. And don't let the man get number 7. Like, we can call it a
with
wrap.
a whole new team.
Come on now. We can call it a wrap if he gets number 7.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. You go ahead, T.
Like, you know what I appreciate about Tom Brady, and it's one thing. It's an aspect of greatness that we don't often see in our greats. You know, we love Mike because he was 6-0 in finals appearances.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Tom lose big games and come back and win them the next season.
We have.
You know what I mean? And then late into his career, that comeback he had versus the Falcons to get, 6? To get number
unbelievable.
6. Just unbelievable. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you look at those, that's some of the coldest shit I ever seen in football. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers didn't do that. And we can, we can measure the skills.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady, if he's the greatest of all time, but he is in that conversation still for best quarterback of all time.
Right.
You know, it's not a throw that he can't make. His decision making is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, no, you can't argue, man. You can't argue.
And it still be. I mean, Drew Brees looked like a shell of himself, and true enough, he did go out. He did go out with the broken ribs and whatever other injuries he had towards the end of the season. But Tom Brady, to be able to be 42 years old and still be playing at an elite level, that says a lot of, as well. And I mean, over the years, you never really see Tom Brady on the ground. Like, and when he does go to the ground, the majority of the time, it's him going to the ground. He sees, he knows
he don't take those big hits.
He can feel them defenders within 3 feet, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna gracefully bow out on this one so I can get up.
I come back and do y'all on 3rd and 13, no problem. Like,
I think, like you said, that's just another. There are certain levels and certain things that we take for granted about Tom Brady that when you put it all in perspective, you got to break this thing down to the T. And this is just certain things that Tom Brady has excelled at that no other quarterback in NFL history has done. So, and it's funny.
That's a fact.
The man said that he was playing another 3 years.
Yeah, and listen, I don't doubt him, bro. First of all, you go back to his draft. This was a 6th round draft pick. A man who is arguably or not one of the greatest quarterback of all time. 6th round draft pick, 199th overall, and he's had the success that he's had. And I agree. If he wants to play another 3 years, I think he absolutely will, because his game was never predicated on any sort of athleticism. The dude was never a good athlete. So he never had a step to lose. And so you talk about good athletes and, guys like, the Michael Vicks or Donovan McNabb say, oh, he lost a step, now he don't have it. Okay, cool, that makes sense. But if I didn't have a step when I was 21, it don't matter that I'm 41 now. I never had a step in the first place. You know what I'm saying? There was no athleticism to be lost. And so he's pretty much the exact same player that he was at 40 as he was at 20, except he's 20 years smarter, more experienced. He's seen everything you have to throw at him. And so I think that as long as Tom Brady wants to play, he can play, because he ain't never going to run 5 yards. He ain't never going to run 10. It don't matter. I'm going to sit in this pocket and pick y'all apart. And to Gino's point, I'm not going to take those big hits at all. As soon as I see one of you big, ugly dudes about to hit me, I'm going to fall down. And I'll just get back up and I'll pick up the first down on the next play. Like, that's who he is. And so I got nothing but respect for the dude for accomplishing the things he has accomplished, even without all of those, tangible assets that you look for when you talk about strong arm, athleticism, big, strong in the pocket. That ain't him, but he do everything that you need, man. That dude is his talent, his accomplishments are undeniable. And I guess now, man, we should go ahead and start talking about these games and see if y'all think that undeniable talent is going to take him up into the frozen tundra at Lambeau Field in late January and walk out of there victorious with a bunch of boys from Tampa. I think that's tough, man. Y'all want to talk that one first, or y'all want to go to the AFC first and then come back to this quarterback GOAT game? Which one y'all want to do first?
Gino, what you thinking?
Man, let's go ahead and keep it in the NFC, man. We talking to GOAT quarterbacks. We got 2 of them in the NFC. Let's keep it there, man.
All right, well, let's set the stage for the number 1 seed Green Bay Packers are at home, Lambeau Field. The trophy is named after the great Vince Lombardi, who is synonymous with Green Bay. I can't stand Green Bay, bro. They done had 2 quarterbacks my whole life, and I love both of them. I'm a diehard Bears fan, but if I had to pick, I would probably take Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre as my favorite 2 quarterbacks. I love them dudes. Man, I got a lot of chance to watch them whoop on my team. But anyway, I love them dudes, man. And now here they are with another opportunity to get back to another Super Bowl. You got obviously Aaron Rodgers leading the way. You have Devontae Adams, who, as much as we talked about Stephon Diggs, and rightfully so, Devontae Adams is playing as good a football as a wide receiver as anybody in the league. That dude is absolutely unguardable right now. And you look at him. That defense is playing well. The Smith brothers can get after you on the edges. They playing solid football on the back end. Aaron Rodgers is playing out of his mind. You can put them up for 34 as soon as they get off the bus. It's unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable. I'm going to go ahead and lean towards the Green Bay Packers in this game. But, again, you can't put nothing past Tom Brady. But I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Green Bay Packers on this one. I think Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, the rest of that offense, I think they do just enough to hold off Tom Brady on a cold Sunday up in Green Bay.
I agree with you 100%, brother. The Green Bay Packers at Lambeau -3.5. I would take that 3.5 too. I'm definitely going with the Packers. I think it's going to be tough for, Tom Brady and those guys coming from that, that Tampa Bay element. It's tough to play in Lambeau regardless. But when you come in there, you got the weather conditions, and then, you got snow flurries, and it's no telling how many fans. I know they had fans in the building last week, so it may not be the 60,000 that are usually there. But you heard what Aaron Rodgers said, man. He said them 5,500 of them 6,000, and it felt like 75,000.
Yeah.
And it gave them an extra boost to come out there and get the job done. So I'm definitely feeling like Aaron Rodgers is going to cement his MVP season today by making another trip to the Super Bowl with I'm going to go Green Bay 35, Tampa Bay 28.
I like it. I think I'm gonna go 34-30, but I like that a lot. I think they're gonna be doing some Lambeau leaps, whether it's 5,500 or 75,000. They're gonna be Lambeau leaping in that joint today.
You know what? You guys know how I'm coming, man. I really been thinking a lot about this game. I feel like this is a dream matchup. If you're a football fan,
yeah, this is
how
what you
could
want.
you not love this quarterback matchup for a chance to go to the Super Bowl? Two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And the dynamics are really interesting, man. Not only is this Tom Brady's first NFC championship, he spent his career in the AFC, but this is the first NFC championship game in Lambeau for Aaron Rodgers. And that's crazy considering how great he's been throughout his career.
Really?
But Herb, man, when it comes to football, man, I'm a poetic justice kind of guy.
Oh,
okay?
Snap. Dolo T
And
strikes again.
we talked about Tom Brady and his first Super Bowl appearance coming off of that snowy game in Foxborough versus the Raiders. You fast forward, this quite possibly could be Tom Brady's last hurrah, the NFC Championship game in snowy Lambeau Field, okay? I'm going with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to push their way into the Super Bowl. Even with as hot as Aaron Rodgers is, I feel like Tom Brady is going to benefit from destiny. He's supposed to be in the Super Bowl in his last year as an NFL quarterback. It's only right. So early shout out to Bruce Arians.
Early
Mike
shout
Evans,
out. Are you
Tom
standing on
Brady
it hard?
for getting into the Super Bowl.
Dolo T strikes again, man.
Dolo T
It's
strikes
only
again,
right.
man. I can't believe it. Okay, listen, man.
What's the score? What's the score?
I'm going 34-28 Buccaneers.
Okay, so we all in that same range between 35 and 28. I think that's about right, man. I don't see it being more than a one-score game. I saw Randy said the Packers 37, Brady 24. Not even the Bucks, but Brady. I don't think it'll be a two-score game like that. We shall see. Let's hop over to the AFC side, man. The Lamar Hunt Trophy is up for grabs. The AFC Championship in Lamar Hunt's home. The Kansas City Chiefs, he's at Arrowhead. They are going up against the upstart, if you will, Buffalo Bills. But we talked about the talent that Buffalo Bills team has on both sides of the ball. They have playmakers all over the field. Josh Allen is playing just as good as the Bradys and Rodgers of the world and Mahomes of the world. He's got weapons on the outside. He's got running backs. I would not be surprised at all to see. First of all, G, can you set the line for me on that one before I jump out the window?
Yeah, at Arrowhead -3, man.
At Arrowhead -3. The Chiefs are -3.
Yep.
Okay. I'm taking the Chiefs. I can't. It's hard for me to. It's real hard for me to pick against them, man. But I am thoroughly impressed with this Buffalo Bills team, and I would not at all be surprised to see them walk in the Arrowhead and rip them boys of their trophy in their backyard. I'm taking the Chiefs, but a close one. I think those 3 or 4 points might be about where it's at. I'm going to say Chiefs 27-24.
I echo your sentiments, brother. I definitely I'm taking Kansas City. I think Patrick Mahomes is he's as healthy as he's going to be, whether it's 75%, 80%, or 100%. But I'm taking a 75% Patrick Mahomes over 95% of 100% quarterbacks in the league right now. I'm taking Kansas City. I would not be surprised if Josh Allen could lead the Buffalo Bills to a victory in Arrowhead. Like you said, they're playing extremely well right now, and now is the time when stars are born. If Josh Allen wants to ascend into that, that category of the Breezes and the well, obviously those guys have done this over a lengthy amount of time. But if he wants to into that next level of quarterback, then this is the time to show it. But I'm going with Kansas City. I wouldn't take the spread. I would go money line because I'm taking Kansas City 30, Buffalo 27.
All right.
You know what?
Uh-oh.
You
know what?
You know it.
Before Pat Mahomes went down, with that neck injury, the nerve injury that caused him to go into concussion protocol, I was ready to say that the Chiefs were going to breeze their way into the Super Bowl. But when I sat down, I looked at my notes. Man, this Buffalo defense should not be ignored. Their secondary is strong,
That's
and
real.
they have some hawks.
That's real.
With that said, that sound you heard all through the week was Kansas City Chiefs fans praying hard as hell that Pat Mahomes is okay. And honestly, their prayers were answered. I'm looking at tweets now saying that the man looks close to 100%. And as long as Pat Mahomes is good to go, I don't see anybody beating the Chiefs. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs to go ahead and punch their ticket to the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. The way they closed out that game last week, with some championship stuff.
Chad
You
Henne.
feel me? Yeah, man. With your backup quarterback, that was some cojones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
So I'm totally all in on the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's going to be more than a task to beat them for a team to beat them over the next couple of weeks. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs and Pat Mahomes.
All right, we all got the Chiefs coming out of the AFC, and we all me and G had the Packers coming out of the NFC. Dolo T struck once more as he must, and he took the Buccaneers to come out of the NFC, which would set a matchup for him, Chiefs versus Bucks. For me and G, we see Chiefs versus Packers. That being said, it's only right, T, if you got this information available for us, man, I think it might be time for you to go ahead and lay it on down for who walked away ultimately victorious in the pick'em season that we had right here on the Kickback between you, myself, and Gino, man. What were the final tallies of the pick'em from season 1 of the Kickoff Kickback?
Now, Herb, I couldn't come back to the Kickback without the facts, okay? Without the how it shook down between the three of us and our pick'em. It was a ball all season. I was happy that we got to implement this into the show.
Yeah, it was dope.
And I totally have the final result. So if you guys are ready, I can break it down for you.
Come on with it, my brother. Come on with it. I don't like
Hey,
you smiling
guys,
too hard though. So you know what I'm saying? Like he's smiling too hard, you know? You know what I'm saying?
So let me tell you, man. So we went into the final week. Very close, man. We were separated by a game.
Mm-hmm.
And if it serves me correct, I was in first place. Gino, you were one game behind me.
Yeah.
And Herb, you were one game behind
G,
two games behind me, one
Right.
game behind Herb. Behind Gino. The third place winner of the season, none other than Herb Howard.
Hey!
Herb, you went 10-5, which actually ties you for the best
God, that's
record
terrible.
of the final week of the season. You went 10-5 in your last week of picks. You were tied for first place in the last week of the season, which brought your overall record to 91-53. The second place team, y'all. And excuse me, let me correct you. Gino and I went into the final week tied.
Yeah, I was tied. Yeah.
Yeah, we went into the final week tied, okay? The second place team with a record of 9-6 in the final week of pickings is none other than myself.
Oh! Okay. Gino coming from the back.
He told me I was putting the crown on his
Which
head.
means that
Gino,
Gino,
on his head.
yes, sir. Which means that Gino is the pick'em champion of 2020 with an overall record of 93-51. He leads the pack. I came in second place at 92 and 52.
What he doing?
We were all separated by one game from the person on the other side of us. Gino,
What he
how's it
doing?
feel?
Another championship
To
ring?
add a crown. Exactly.
Congratulations,
and Herb,
champ. You held it down,
exactly.
man.
Congratulations to Gino. Really, your picks in that last week were crucial. You picked the Rams to beat the Cardinals, which ended up being my downfall.
Yeah.
Herb, you know how I was riding with the Cardinals all season.
All the time.
They went out weak as hell, so I went out with them, man. So
at least you held to it, man. You said early on that you was driving the Kyler Murray fan bus. You stuck. I mean, you was the president of the Kyler Murray fan club. You kept on rolling with that, man. And I salute you. I went to that last week. I was down 2 games or 1 game or whatever it was. And so I'm like, let me just pick everything y'all don't and see if it worked out for me. Ultimately, it didn't. I finished right where I should in 3rd place, man. But Gino, man, how you feel about coming through first place, season 1, pick 'em at the kickoff kickback?
And of course, it was the first week you held the top spot all by yourself. The last week, you are the champ.
Wow.
Well, man, first of all, man, I'd just like to thank you guys, man, because you know how we did it, man.
Exactly.
Every week, man. Every week we were at each other's heads, man. It was yeah. I'll be at the studio. Just leave that right there. Leave that right there. For me.
You want me to keep it? You want me to keep it warm for you? I'll keep it warm for you if you want.
Yeah,
bro.
no doubt. Keep it warm for me. I'll be there to pick it up tomorrow. But no, man, it was fun, man. I'm glad we implemented, like T said, we're able to implement that into the show itself. And man, it outside of betting on the games, I think I had more fun doing this than actual FanDuel and DraftKings, man, because it was something amongst the brothers. It was another way for us to continue to form our brotherhood, man. And we would send texts to each other throughout this football Sunday, talking about all the different games.
Yeah.
So I think all of that. I mean, the winning it is cool. I've been a champion all my life, man. So
Big
winning
fact.
is cool. Winning is cool, but being able to build with y'all and have fun and continue to put things, in perspective and build with the people. I love when we pick our picks to all the family members in the comments. They giving their picks and saying why they pick them, why not. So I enjoy all of that more than actually coming out on top with the victory. Actually, man, I want to share that crown with the 2 of you guys and with all the family members in the comments, man, because we all champions at the end of the day, man.
Everybody gets a piece of the crown. Thank y'all so much for y'all participation. Thank y'all so much for everything y'all did to add to season 1 of the kickoff kickback for this football season, man. Y'all would always come through with the information, whether it was last-minute injury updates, whether it was who was starting here, who was starting there. Y'all was as much a part of the kickback as the 3 of us were, man. So thank y'all so much for showing up every single week and bringing y'all energy to the kickback. It was a blast. It was fun. You look back on it. We had days when we was in here drinking heavy, me. We had days when he was in here drinking light, Gino. We had days when we was in here barbecuing, eating food, all downstairs. It was a whole thing. The season was phenomenal, and it was only phenomenal because you all showed up each and every week to the kickback. So thank y'all so much, man, for continuing to rock with us, for continuing to show up. And we ain't done. We just pivoting. We got another couple weeks of football before the Super Bowl champion is crowned. We'll be pivoting to some basketball and things like that. And if y'all want to touch on some of that real quick, we can, because there are a lot of things going on, but we just wanted to make sure that we said thank you to y'all, man. I know y'all echo those sentiments. T, I know you echo those sentiments just like I did from G.
I know we only got 5 minutes left, but
What's up,
can we
DJ?
talk about how McGregor got knocked out since we already talked sports real quick?
Who got knocked? Conor McGregor got knocked out last night?
Oh, you didn't see it?
Nah, man, I was knocked out early. next to Nate Robinson.
Yeah, Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson definitely ain't got up yet.
He's still down there.
Yeah, I didn't see it, man. But I definitely saw the memes of him laying down in the corner looking beat down. I saw the stats. They said he took like 21 straight kicks to the leg. They said his leg was just non-existent after Buddy got through with him. So, I mean, he gave him props. He hadn't fought in over a year. But, hey, man, kudos.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I was kind of weary of this Conor McGregor fight because it was just a little too quiet. You know what I mean? We know how Conor McGregor gets down. If it's a fight to be had, he's running his mouth. nonstop. And honestly, this fight kind of snuck up on us. And so I was wondering if he wasn't as confident as he usually is. And he said that much after the fight. He was like, hey, you know what? When you take as much time off as I took, you can't just come back in and think that you're going to win. And he definitely got his ass handed to him. But he took it like a man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Conor McGregor for taking his ass whooping like a man.
Yeah, man. I missed that fight. It was an early night for me, man. I wasn't in the mood. I was knocked out kind of early last night, so I ain't even see no parts of the fight, and I ain't even really been on social media that much today either, so I ain't seen it, man. But Conor McGregor, man, at this point, I feel like he's just checking bags at this point, man. So it's just signing up, get as big a bag as he can. He's obviously on the back end of his career, but if he can keep cashing checks, then good for him, as long as he don't get his face knocked off in the process. We'll see how that goes. Listen, man, the NBA season is in full swing, and Randy, I don't know what Randy is smoking right now, man, but he needs to pass that pack. He talking about the Bulls coming out with a 5th seed in the East.
You saw what I told him, right?
Nah, I didn't see what you say.
Check it out.
Only because the league is 65% trash. That's a fact. That is a fact. Even with the league being trash, I can't see the Bulls pulling the 5 seed out, man. I can't really see it. Do y'all see the New Jersey Nets real quick getting their thing together and running through the East as their roster suggests they should?
It's something he talked about, man, Herb. It's all about who's gonna make the sacrifice. I think Kevin Durant, his natural basketball instinct is sacrifice. He's such a talented guy. He's such a skilled guy, probably the best offensive player in the league right now, and may be the best player in the league. I mean, it's up, him or LeBron, Tiffany, whoever you want to choose. But I do think it's championship or bust for the Nets this year. Me and T talked about it. If who gets the last shot at the end of the game is your biggest problem, then that's a problem that I would want to have. I think the biggest issue is going to be Steve Nash and how he deals with those guys, how he deals with the different attitudes in the locker room, and just managing those guys. So I do think it's championship or bust for the Brooklyn Nets this year.
You know what? I feel like the Nets are set up to be good for a long time. I've been thinking on the idea that they're championship or bust, and I'm not 100% sure because we know how it is those first seasons when you get together. No matter how lethal the roster may look on paper, we know that it takes some time to adjust, and they still got that big hole in the middle. Like you told me last week, man. Bam Adebayo had 40 last night, bro. Come on. So yeah, they definitely got some issues. But Herb, can I end it with a football statement real quick?
Yeah, man. We still got some time, man. For sure. Do your thing.
This is in response to the idea that Tom is not as great as Aaron or the best quarterback we ever seen. Some individual stat comparisons between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, and of course, a couple of stat nerds did us a favor, and they put out how long it would take Aaron Rodgers to catch Tom Brady in some meaningful categories based on their league averages. So it would take Aaron Rodgers 10 more years to get to Tom Brady's career win mark, which is 104. It would take Aaron Rodgers 7 more years to get to Tom Brady's passing yard mark, which is 27,559 yards. It would take Aaron Rodgers 6 more years to get to Tom Brady's overall touchdown mark, which is 169. And it would take 5 years for Aaron Rodgers to catch up as far as Super Bowls. We know he's 5 Super Bowls behind Tom Brady. So Tom Brady, man, when you start to look at the records, the man has put up a career like we've never seen, man. He's really, an all-timer in every sense of the meaning. So just in perspective to Tom Brady's career.
Yeah, no, you can't argue with it, man. And I think that wins. I think that wins record for between those two. I think that's out of reach for Aaron Rodgers, and that's as much as that's Tom Brady. It was a well-oiled machine that they had going on in New England, man. For 17, 18 years they won the division straight. Like nobody even sniffed the AFC division championship over the course of almost 2 decades. It was unbelievable. So they was, as soon as the season started, you can sign them up for 13, 14 wins. You know what I mean? And so I don't think Aaron Rodgers can go catch him with that in Green Bay. But in terms of those other things, you talk about the yards, the touchdowns, 6 years, 7 years respectively, 5 years. I can see Aaron Rodgers playing for another 5-6 years, and I can see him going to get those individual records, those team records. Them things are out of reach. The Patriots were something unlike any other. As much as the Green Bay Packers have dominated the NFC North, nobody has ever dominated anything the way the Patriots dominated the AFC East since Tom Brady and Bill Belichick got there. So I think that one will be out of reach. But I think, 6 more years, 5 more years for him to get the passing yards and the touchdowns, I can see that certainly being achievable for Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't seem to be slowing down at a rapid rate to me just yet.
No, I agree, man. I'm interested to see how much longer Aaron Rodgers will play, because I think he's another one of those guys, Herb, like Tom Brady, who you rarely see on the ground. I mean, he's done a great job of keeping him away from the defenders. He scrambles. He is athletic, so he does get out of the pocket and scramble a lot, but he hits the deck. He knows how to slide, and he knows how to go out of bounds. So I do think that he could catch some of those individual stats, but team-wise, he's cooked. Like you said, New England was something we'd never seen before.
Probably never see again.
It was unbelievable how many division championships they won. It was like the rest of the division. It was wild card or bust. You know what I'm saying?
That thing was crazy. Now Aaron Rodgers wasn't the only time he missed was when weak ass Shea McClellan slammed him to the turf and broke his collarbone.
Wow, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Shea McClellan not only did he break Aaron Rodgers' collarbone, didn't he end Brett Favre's career too?
He sacked. Was he the last person to sack Brett Favre?
I think his bum ass might have been.
Remember that?
I think for all of the nothingness that Shea McClellan brought to the Bears, I do think that he put 2 of the most painful hits on our arch nemesis, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. That's kind of crazy. But anyway, man, listen, we are just about out of time, man. We want to thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Kickoff Kickback. Thank y'all so much for continuing to rock with us. Listen, y'all make sure y'all check in back here. What's in it for the Black People Media tonight? I just forget. Maze! Dang it! I just had a whole brain. My brain just went blank. There's a show tonight, Dr. Audrey Tanksley. I can't think of the name of the show right now. It is DJ. Do you know the name of the show? It's escaping me right now. But it starts at 5 p.m. Where is the dang on thing? It got to be in here somewhere.
So Audrey is part of the family now.
What is it? Inhale, Exhale is the name of the show. Dr. Audrey is on 5 p.m. right here on What's in for the Black People Media. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to that. My bad, Audrey. It is Inhale, Exhale is the show. It is premiering right here on What's in it for the Black People Media this evening at 5 p.m. Y'all make sure y'all check in for that. Make sure y'all continue to promote the switch over from the Mace Jackson page to the What's in it for the Black People Media page. That is where you can find all of the content. Y'all make sure y'all kick back, enjoy Championship Sunday. Fellas, I'm looking forward to it. I know we'll be on the text messages watching the game, hanging out for that. We will be back here next week. It's not a football Sunday next Sunday. The Super Bowl is actually usually a week. They usually take 2 weeks off, so the Super Bowl will be next week. So maybe we can spend a little bit more time talking some basketball, some baseball, and setting the stage for the next Super Bowl Sunday on next week. But until then, man, y'all be good to each other. For the one and only Eugene McIntosh and the one and only Terrance Tomlin, my name is Herb Howard. Shout out to DJ doing all the hard work behind the glass. This has been the Kickoff Kickback. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Down. They say I got a problem.